up? All right, that look good. Let's do something with this chat here. Let's move this chat. Let's maybe move this about right here. I think that's a little better. All right, good. All right. All right, that looks good. All right. We're going to start in about 60 seconds, everybody. We're going to start in about 60 seconds. Just want to make sure everything is good here. Syncing up with our audience. Yeah, we're good. Everything's good. Okay. That looks good. And we got a nice little loaded show, too. All right, let's see here. Oh, you know what? I forgot to change the social media handles there. Damn. Forgot to change that. That's all right. Pull me a Bill O'Reilly. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. All right, let's see here. All right, change the thumbnail. I just want to swap out thumbnails real quick, guys. Oh, Lord have mercy. What did I say? Did I say? Yep, that's what I said. Okay. Oh, we would get that bullshit. We would get that bullshit. I'm getting that bullshit about the thumbnail again, y'all. Let me see here. Let me see if I can figure out how to work around that real quick here. Hang on. Let me see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's cut that. Let's cut that. And no, we want to keep the canvas size. Okay. I figured it out. Y'all. Give me a second here. You want to use this time to go grab something to drink real quick. You got it. We're going to start in about 90 seconds here. I just got to crop this damn image here. Okay. And let's go ahead and save that. Go ahead. Save that. Okay. Yes. Overwrite that. All right. All right, let's try that again. Okay. That looks good. Yes. Yes. Let's start.
Warning, the RCWR show with Lee Sanders is intended for a mature audience only. The following is an Infinity One Productions presentation, keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive. Covering the latest in wrestling and beyond since 2011. You're listening to the RCWR show. Now, your host, live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Fuck everything. Fuck it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live, goddammit. What's going on? You're checking out Friday night edition of the RCWR show. Lee Sanders here, covering the very latest in all things wrestling, entertainment, and beyond since 2011. For those of you that's going to be wondering, what the hell is... There's an infamous video that's floating around on the web. I don't know if you guys follow politics like that. You check out the political shows, talk shows like that. But there's an infamous video of Bill O'Reilly. And this was way before he did the O'Reilly Factor, if I'm not mistaken. And the cameras didn't catch him. He thought he wasn't even on the air or whatever. But something weird goes down. There's some type of weird malfunction. And he's like, you know what? I cannot relate. Fuck it. And he just goes off on this tirade. It's like an epic 45-second joint. Check it out. Just type in Bill O'Reilly tirade. Like profanity tirade. You'll know it when you freaking see it because it looks pretty grainy. It looks like you're watching something from the 90s, maybe early 2000s. You know, this is way before the whole high definition, UHD, 4K, and all that other crazy shit had came into play. Hey, y'all. So Smackdown just went off the air. We'll talk about it. We're definitely going to talk about Smackdown, but pretty much we're now a couple of days away from the Royal Rumble. I'm actually excited, as always, when it comes to WWE, particularly the 4 major pay-per-views in my book out of the entire year: Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Survivor Series. I always look forward to those events. And so for me, I'm a little bit extra giddy this go round because there's just no telling what the hell's going to be happening when we get ready to go into Royal Rumble Sunday. Speaking of Royal Rumble, I want to say this up front right now. I got a poll that's up. One is on Twitter. There's another one that's on YouTube. For you guys that are more interested in finding the YouTube one, youtube.com/the RCWR show, click on the communities tab and you'll see it. Y'all got until, I would say, Sunday afternoon. This Sunday afternoon, which will put us at... What is that? That'll put us at Sunday, January the 31st. I'll say 2 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be the cutoff time. I keep it simple with this poll. I ask you guys whether or not you would like the ability to call into the show and talk about the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. So the way that you guys would be able to call in, I talked about this earlier in the week, but basically the way you'd be able to call into the show, you would be able to call in via Discord. If you have no idea what's going on with Discord, you've never heard of it, you never bothered using it before, Discord, first of all, it's free. You can download it on your Android or your iOS device. You can even access it on your desktop device. But basically, once you download it, it's free. That's pretty much how you would be able to be patched into the show when we do open up the phone lines and all that. So that's how I would bring you guys on for the show. So you definitely would need to be looking now on the social media links and then also during the Royal Rumble post show. And I say to you guys, hey, you know, you want to call in, here's the Discord link, go ahead. But that's pretty much how we're going to do it. So there's 2 polls, one on Twitter, one on YouTube, asking if you want the ability to call into the show, chat with me, give your thoughts about the pay-per-view, or if you just want to kick back and you just want to hear me talk about the pay-per-view. So have at it. Both polls are live right now. At the time that I'm doing this show live right now, it's available. And just out of curiosity here, let me see what's been going on with Twitter here, because I really haven't had an opportunity to check out what's been going on in the social media feeds today. Right now, I'm seeing for Twitter, early votes. I see that there is 100% that are leaning towards yes, love to call in. And just out of curiosity, let me see what's going on via YouTube. I doubt I'm going to see something on YouTube because last time I had poked my head, it was about maybe a half hour ago, and I don't remember seeing anything. But let's see what we got here. All right, early, but we got a 50 split. We got 50% of you that would love the ability to call into the post show, and then the other half of you just want to hear me talk about the pay-per-view. So keep at it. Go ahead, keep going and everything. Look, I know sometimes if I were to just kind of be devil's advocate a little bit or just kind of be more well-rounded with regards to having those options, I know that in some instances there could be cases where you got a really nice, good flow from the show's hosts as they're breaking down the pay-per-view or whatever, and then when they open up the phone lines to get thoughts of what others thought about the pay-per-view, my God, it kind of reminds you of WWF Livewire with Russo and Jim Ross back in the day. Remember that? Like, Come on, folks. This ain't rocket science. You got to think it out. You gonna call in, you got to think it out. You got to prepare yourself. You gonna call in, time is money. Please, can't stress it enough. Take the time. Think about what you're gonna say before you go live. It's kind of one of those type of deals. And so, you got that. And then, of course, once in a blue moon, you may deal with a crank call or whatever like that. But for the most part, you open up the phone lines, you got a bunch of people that's totally unprepared. Hi, Lee. Yeah. Okay, so what's your name? Where you calling from? Michael. Wisconsin. Okay, all right, Michael from Wisconsin. So, what did you think about the Royal Rumble pay-per-view overall? It was okay. That was one of the main reasons why we stopped doing the call-ins, because I would stay getting fucking calls. Literally, I wish I could say I was being a dick right now. I wish I could say I'm just fucking with you. I've never had... No! I actually had people that would call into the show sounding just like that. I would spend the 50 minutes, 90 minutes talking about the pay-per-view. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. It's time for you all to talk to me. Talk about the pay-per-view, what you like, what you dislike. Talk as long as you want to talk. You've heard me talk as long as I've talked. Now it's your turn to talk as long as you want to talk. It's like, hey, so what did you think about the pay-per-view? Michael from Wisconsin. It was okay. It was okay. Well, what did you like best about the pay-per-view, and what didn't you like about the pay-per-view? What would you say would be your best and worst from the pay-per-view? It was all right overall. And it's like, well, what was your favorite match? Okay, well, I'm damn near going over the fucking card again. Like, any of those matches jump out to you? Like, it was all right. Like, all right, so keep it moving along. That's how you gotta do it. So I'm very curious to see what happens this go round with you guys. I'm most freaking curious. I hope you guys are gonna bring it this go round, because I'm telling you, if the majority decides they want to go ahead and they want the phone lines, then that's what we're gonna do. But just know, you may want to get the head start. If you've never, ever downloaded Discord before, now's the time. Between now and Royal Rumble weekend is the time you want to start getting yourself familiar with it and everything. That way, once you see, okay, we're going the Discord route to patch in calls, you already got the shit installed. You're pretty much ready to go. All right. So, yeah, we're definitely going to talk about Smackdown tonight. We're definitely going to go over the Royal Rumble card preview. It's another installment of our Call That Match edition that we're going to be incorporating into this show. I'll offer match predictions, things I think might be going down at the pay-per-view, surprises, things of that nature. So definitely stick around for that. I'll definitely offer my thoughts on the recent passing of one of our own, man, the queen, the true queen of acting. You want to talk about dignity, grace, great poise, conviction, compelling. Those are all the words, just some of the words I can use to describe Cecily Tyson. We'll definitely talk about her later on in the show as well. But where to begin? I guess we could, kind of go ahead a little bit. Look, first off, I hope you guys are doing okay. I see everybody is acting like it's the end of the world once again, because you hear snow. And everybody is panicking their little asses off. They're jumping out of their freaking panties. Just the idea of freaking snow. I don't know how it's going for you all respectively, but over here in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area, we nickname it DMV, not the Department of Motor Vehicles. For those of you that like to be cute, no, we call the DC, Maryland, Virginia area DMV. Here in the DMV, it's crazy because I've been paying attention particularly to the weather forecast, And all we know right now is that there is supposed to be snow sometimes Saturday, Sunday, Monday, maybe possibly Tuesday. But then when you're going, okay, well, what's going on with the accumulation? How many inches are we talking? We still don't exactly know what's going on with that just yet. Maybe there'll be a better idea tonight, maybe, but today was probably in the 30s, I would say. Beautiful sunny day. And yet everybody is running. I gotta get the bread and milk. I gotta get the bread and milk. I gotta get the bread and milk. Oh my God, I gotta get the bread and milk. I gotta get the bread and milk. The snow's coming. I mean, it was out the ass. You swear the end of the world was happening today. I can only imagine how it's going to be tomorrow and Sunday, and it's just freaking crazy right now. So that's what's going on over here in my neck of the woods. Ain't even a drop of fucking snow. I gotta tell you, and I usually give it to those that were born here in the DMV. I give it to them right between the eyes. Whenever somebody wants to talk about the snow, I say to them, I'm polite. But I say to them, honestly, nothing personal, but I'm from Chicago, so, what you guys consider the end of the world, that's nothing compared to what Chicago, New York, PA, it's nothing compared to what those guys get. It's like, you guys really don't be getting anything that's even worth tripping over, and it's kind of funny because normally I can tell when I'm talking to one of those, gotta get the bread and milk. I can tell when I'm talking to one of those type of people. But then once I say what you just heard, that's when they kind of want to try to act a little tough. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, you're a bunch of wussies, right? I'm like, hey, you said it, not me. I'm like, yeah, and all that. But yeah, every single time here in the DMV, you just hear about one fucking snowflake. Those are 4 letters. If you want to send everybody scrounging around like roaches on a counter attacking a piece of cake, and you've hit the light on and all those roaches just go scattering, like, yeah, just mention those 4-letter words and just watch everybody out here fucking scramble. It's hilarious. It's just freaking hilarious. So yeah, that's what's going on over here. Hopefully your neck of the woods is okay, and if you got some snow coming, hopefully you're prepared, or at least you're getting yourself ready and everything. Go home for Smackdown this week. Okay, I mean, look, couple of bright spots in there. I'll say this. I enjoyed it more than this Monday's Raw. I'll definitely tell you that. For me, the main one, as far as what's really standing out to me the most from tonight's SmackDown, I gotta go with the Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens segment. That talking segment where they're doing the whole split screen. I think that one for me was probably the highlight of the night. We'll get to that in a hot second, but we are officially talking about SmackDown now. Let's go over some of the SmackDown action that happened here. Let you guys know what the skinny was. All right. Actually, give me a second here. Just opening up my notes here. All right. So SmackDown. Daniel Bryan opened up the show, and he talked very passionately about he knows that he's winding down in his career, in his in-ring career, but that before he wraps it up, there's just one thing that has continued to somehow elude him. Everything that he's been able to accomplish in the WWE, he's very, he feels very accomplished. He feels very satisfied with everything that he's accomplished in his career, except for one thing that he has not been able to do. Can you take a guess what that is that he was not able to do? If you guys said win the Royal Rumble, you're absolutely correct. Some of you guys may hear that and you may, wait a minute. No, he won the Royal Rumble. Like, well, the first question, if you're thinking that, when? What year are you thinking? What's the circumstance? What are you thinking exactly? Because, when you first hear that, yeah, you're going to be a little bit thrown off. But then you start playing it back in your head. You start going over the past 5, 10 years worth of Royal Rumble winners, and you go, shit. Yeah, Daniel Bryan did not win the Royal Rumble yet, has he? So Daniel Bryan cutting a really nice, heartfelt, passionate promo talking about how he wants to go into Royal Rumble weekend and he wants to win it. He wants to earn that right to be able to face either the Raw champion or the Smackdown heavyweight champion at WrestleMania. But then he got interrupted. Who would interrupt him? None other than the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. You're going, wait a minute. Man, this is a freaking Raw guy. What's a Raw guy doing on the SmackDown show? Well, and it was nice of WWE to remind us a couple of times throughout the night tonight. Apparently, a couple of times a quarter, a WWE superstar or 2 or 3 or whatever are allowed to cross-brand. They're allowed to make an appearance on another show. So that's exactly the case of what AJ Styles was doing. This pretty much had set up a match, if you will, between AJ and Daniel Bryan, which, by the way, was a damn good matchup. If I'm sniffling, apologies in advance. My allergies are all of a sudden starting to kick my ass. I don't know what the hell that's about. It's kind of weird because my allergies is kicking my butt. And besides my allergies kicking my butt, all of a sudden I am kind of like a loss of taste right now. Once in a while that happens to me. No, I don't have COVID. Don't be saying that shit. No, I don't have COVID, but once in a while I my allergies always happens. I've been dealing with it for years now. Once in a while, something weird will happen where my allergies will I can feel the flare up in my sinuses. And then my taste kind of feels as though, perfect example, right before I went live on the air, I had nibbled on some Fritos jalapeno. I don't know if you guys have tried those yet. There's a spicy jalapeno Frito scoops that's running around. I recommend them. It's pretty good, especially if you're a fan of the Frito scoops. You will dig the jalapeno Frito scoops. It's literally like it tastes literally like what you would get from 7-Eleven. I don't know if you guys used to do it, but I know when I was growing up, particularly when I was in high school, me and my friends, we would stop by the 7-Eleven and, we would, for lunch, we would get ourselves a little 99-cent bag of plain Fritos. Or Doritos. You could definitely get away with nacho cheese Doritos, but mainly it'd be the Fritos. Open it up, go over to the condiments, pump all that good hot nacho cheese onto those chips, take some of that chili, do the same thing, shake, 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 and then check out. And there was a time, well, I'm paying attention to how old you guys are that was doing this, back in the day, because our generation had started that shit. I mean, so we're talking 96 to 2000 is when this began. When we were in school. So once you do that, you pretty much just get yourself a fork. If your friends want to join you, cool. But that's your lunch right there. That's a hearty fucking meal. Tie over till you get home or whatever. So there was a time where the 7-Elevens, they did not charge you for the chili and the cheese. But then they started realizing, okay, you know what? These high school kids that's coming in here and they're doing the shit with the chili and the cheese. We're losing out on money here. Sure, they're paying us but we're losing money from that chili and the cheese. So what they started doing, they started charging us extra. Now, you would think that as a result of them charging us extra, we're like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. We didn't care. It's like, okay, you're okay. So on top of getting that bag of chips, you're also telling us that, which is $1. You're also saying now you want 50 cents for that chili and cheese. They wouldn't charge us 50 cents. You understand what I'm saying? It wouldn't be 50 cents for the chili and then 50 cents for the cheese. No, they just pretty much were like, oh, you got chili and cheese on that? Like, yeah, okay, 50 cent. 50 cent extra. It's like, okay, cool. So we didn't care. When they started charging us for the chili and the cheese, we didn't give a shit. It was like, okay, yeah, here you go. 50 cent, and I can have all the chili and the cheese that I want. Like, okay, cool. So again, and then, they're making their money, but then still it's like, well, we're making our money, but damn, they're taking too much chili, they're taking too much cheese. So now what they started doing, even though they would say to us 50 cent, now, they're looking, they're looking at us, seeing, how much chili and how much cheese we're getting. No, no, no. That's enough. That's enough. No more. No more. You have more than enough. Like, what are you talking about? I barely made a dent. Like, I don't even have enough to have my Fritos wet. And you talking about, come on, man. You said 50 cent. Damn. It's like, yeah, you just hurry up and, once in a while you'd get a dick 7-Eleven employee that would act like that, but for the most part, as long as they got their fucking 50 cents, they didn't give a fuck, man, because when you stop and you think about it, God, there was a shitload of us that was always frequenting the 7-Eleven every day. Every day. Every day you'd see the same motherfuckers, and as a result, you pretty much would hang out with like the same core group of people and everything, but you would see the same group of people in the morning that'd be at 7-Eleven because some of them actually drunk the coffee. Believe it or not, they actually had, right, high school kids, right, drinking coffee. But no, they actually would drink coffee. They'd get sodas. They'd get the donuts. Some would get the chips or whatever. But mainly breakfast time, 7-Eleven. The main shit you would see that be in God, I'm drawing a blank right now, brain fart. Students, the main shit that you would see in students' hands during breakfast time, it would be some type of pastry, some type of, baked good, or maybe a croissant, egg and cheese sandwich, something along those lines. And then lunchtime, 7-Eleven once again, you see them with pizza. You'd see them with the chips that I just talked about, the Slurpees, wings, shit like that. I mean, so we, long story short, we're giving these motherfuckers a boatload of money when it's all said and done. We're giving them a shit ton of money. So, I mean, shit, a lot of these fucking employees, they knew our faces. It got to a point where they was totally fucking cool with us. They knew we was bringing money. I mean, you stop and you thought about it. I would say off your average student, you probably were getting about, back then, you probably were making about $10 per student. So that's, if you stop and think about it, 96 to 2000, that's pretty damn good money back then for the amount of stuff that the kids were getting and everything. Pretty good stuff. By the way, how the flying fuck did we even get on that topic about 7-Eleven? Oh, that's why I was telling you guys about loss of taste. But since I told you guys that story, and that's another thing that happens when I feel that I've lost my sense of taste, it's very distracting, and I'm good now, though. For those of you that's kind of wondering, I'm good. It just ties into my allergies. That's what's going on. I was like, how the hell did we get allergies? So yeah, try that. If you haven't tried it yet, jalapeno Frito scoops. Good shit right there. I'll talk more about that Daniel Bryan AJ Styles match in a hot minute. First matchup of the night, Bayley taking on Bianca Belair. I've enjoyed what I've been seeing from these two girls within recent weeks. They've been doing a pretty good job. I gotta say, they've been doing pretty good. I don't know, just kind of previewing Royal Rumble. I will say up front, Bianca Belair is definitely somebody I'm strongly leaning towards that could possibly win for the women's side of the Royal Rumble, but I'm not quite confident just yet. I'm not quite sure just yet. We'll talk more about that when we get ready to go over Royal Rumble predictions. But her program that she's been doing, and no, before anybody asks me, I sadly have not watched the documentary on the WWE network yet about Bianca Belair. Work, school, that's been kicking my ass. It's funny too because, and this isn't long winded, so don't worry. But I had about 4 to 5 assignments that were due this week. All of them I didn't have to turn in until Sunday, but I'm going shit. Sunday's Royal Rumble, like noon on. All I want to be doing is preparing for Royal Rumble. Like I ain't got time for that. So I sadly was not able to check out Bianca Belair's documentary yet. But this weekend I will definitely be checking it out. I've talked to a couple of people in private, and they said they thoroughly had enjoyed it. So they said, look, if you really like Bianca Belair like that, you're definitely gonna love her WWE specials. Like you'll dig it. I'm like, okay, all right, cool, bet. Good matchup between Bayley and Bianca Belair tonight. And this was pretty much following up on that challenge that they had from last week's Smackdown. I did see that one, and I gotta tell you, if there was one thing that had impressed me big time from last week's Smackdown was the fact that Bianca Belair was able to pick up Otis with such ease and just walk his ass with him over her shoulders. Mind you, big old Otis over her shoulders, and she's just able, with ease, walk over to the little red line there. I was just, wow. Like, what can't this girl do? I mean, I just thought that was fucking badass there. Bianca Belair defeating Bayley post-match. She was interviewed talking about, hey, in your young career, thus far, here you are, you're on the main roster and everything, and today, this is the most significant victory that you've picked up. Not for nothing, but you defeated a former SmackDown Women's Champion, a women's champ that had the ring of blah, 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 your thoughts. And, she pretty much talked about, hey, I know Bayley likes to talk about being a role model and that. Well, she ain't my role model, but yeah, it means a lot to me that I was able to pick this win up. It's very significant. And she pretty much talked about how she wanted to ride the momentum of what she had got tonight off this victory from Bayley, ride it going into Royal Rumble Sunday, and hopefully pull the W there. But good shit right there. Good shit right there. Is that what's going to happen this Sunday? Again, gotta tease you guys. We'll get to those Royal Rumble picks. Next matchup, Dominic Mysterio taking on King Corbin. Pretty short, man. Pretty short. I'm a little right now. Let me explain to you the reason why. First of all, Dominic Mysterio continues to impress me week in, week out. I saw a little bit of spots tonight that was a little bit sloppy, but I can't really be bitching. You feel where I'm coming from? I can't really be going all balls in like that because Dominic is still coming up through the ranks and everything. You feel where I'm coming from? So I can put that to the side. I know other people, they kind of can't do that. Other people, they go in hard. Me, I can relax on that. I can relax on that. Holler at me when it's 2-3 years later. Then it's kind of like, okay, yeah. We need to tighten that shit up a little bit. But for what it was worth, between he and King Corbin, okay. It was okay. Post-match, Corbin attacking Ray. Ray was able to fight him back, though. Sent his ass, running, licking his wounds and all that. So So what exactly is going on right here? Is my question. We're a bit removed from Seth Rollins here, for now. All right, so I guess the Mysterio family and King Corbin, that's what's going on here. I mean, look, I'm okay with it, especially if the main focal point is Dominic and Corbin. Yeah, I'm okay with that. For look, just the fact that we're finally done with that whole Murphy Rollins thing, we could just have a nice break from that. Now, I want to make sure I choose the right words here. And you heard me right. I did say a break from it. That's exactly what's going on. That's how it's feeling right now. And that's what we should expect right now. I think at some point we're going to come back around to that. But until then, it's all good. But we get to chill and we just get to think about what's going on with Dominic or the Mysterio family and King Corbin. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. By the way, when did King Corbin get gold hot pants? I'm just a little bit curious about that. When the hell did that happen? I remember for the longest time, I saw him with tights, tight leggings. And I'm like, oh, hey, all right, cool. Now he's pushing gold pants. I'm not sure how I feel about that exactly. Post-match, backstage segment, Big E chatting it up with Sonya Deville, trying to buy his way with $1. $1 is only going to get you but so far these days. Trying to see if he could bribe his way to getting a sweet spot in the Royal Rumble there, but Sonya Deville wasn't having it. Hey, you got to give Big E a lot of props, though. At least Big E went into that joint. Hey, here's $1. And man, I got an Arby's coupon with your name on it. But wait a minute. No, wait a minute. We talking Arby's. That's music to my ears. All right, that is music to my ears. You had me at hello. All right, but the fact that you're going to follow up with Arby's. Hey, man. All I got to say is, where's the Arby's coupon? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna present me something. You gonna try to proposition me. You got to have your shit already ready to go. Like, how you gonna say $1 and you got an Arby's coupon, but you ain't got the Arby's coupon on you? The Arby's coupon is essentially an IOU. Come on now. Yeah, that's just wrong. By the way, Arby's, man. My ears just lit up when I heard the whole Arby's plug. I'm thinking to myself, okay, WWE doesn't have any spots with Arby's, as far as I know. Like, WWE superstars in Arby's commercials. Like, you think subliminally there's something going on there? You think WWE is quietly trying to get some of that Arby's money yet? Like, if so, go ahead. Ain't nothing wrong. Hey, good pick. Arby's got bomb-ass food, man. Tell me I'm wrong. Arby's got some bomb-ass food. I like their white mac and cheese. I don't know if you guys have tried that yet, but if you're a fan of Panera's mac and cheese, trust me when I tell you, y'all gonna be shocked at this, but trust me when I tell you, Arby's mac and cheese, depending on how that Arby's makes the food, because locations can vary. You got some joints, they follow in that recipe down to the T. And man, it's banging. They cooking it just right. Everything's banging. And then you can go to another Arby's, just a couple of blocks down the street or a mile or two, and the food is shit. So it really depends on the location. But you go to the right Arby's, let me tell you something. Their mac and cheese, Arby's, better than Panera. Oh yeah, I said it. Come see me if you got a problem with that. Come see me. But peep that out. Peep that out next time. You'll thank me later. Trust me. You'll thank me later. So yeah, Big E rapping, Sonya Deville, Miz and Morrison show up. You're going, oh fuck, what's going on here? Miz wanted to know where Adam Pearce was. Deville revealed that he's not there. Apparently after what's being described as a potential abuse of power. So, you hear that, you're going, what exactly are the ramifications? What's going on there? After that, Big E, he wanted to know why Miz was there. And pretty much this all set up a nice little spot here where there was a throwdown. Miz and Morrison, a lot of trash talking, but pretty much it ended with Miz and Morrison walking off. Big E thinking he got the best out of both of those guys. Puts his guard down, looking the other way. Miz and Morrison, they jumped the hell out of him. And that pretty much had set up officials that showed up, breaking everybody apart. Another backstage segment, Sasha Banks chatting it up with Reginald. Gotta tell you, the joint from, was it last week? Was it last week or the week before where Sasha Banks wrestled Reginald? I gotta say, that was quite surprising. Just to turn on SmackDown, because I remember I was watching it in real time, and now I'm watching this, and I'm going, "Who is this little black dude here?" And yeah, I'm watching him do his shit with Sasha, and he's just all flamboyant, just throwing his hair back and everything, and I'm like, ooh, and he got a touch of sweetness too. I'm like, okay, I'm like, no problem with that. I'm just going, hey, it's nice to see WWE so open, like that's good. I like that. Keep it up. But I was very impressed by this Reginald dude. Because you guys got to remember, with regards to Friday nights, typically I'm not doing a Friday night show for you guys. But it seems that with regards to my new schedule, at least for the next couple of weeks or whatever, I'm now in a really good position where, Fridays, I still work, but I get off much earlier. So as a result of that, I can check out SmackDown, and that's what I've been doing the past couple of weeks. But this was all about Royal Rumble. So that's why we're doing what we're doing here tonight. But there's been a lot of cases over the past couple of weeks. I'm not able to check out SmackDown again because of work. Have it on the DVR, but it's like I had never get around to it. So to see what's been going on with Sasha Banks, Carmella, and now we got Reginald thrown into the mix and everything. I got to tell you, I have been thoroughly enjoying that. But Reginald, Sasha Banks backstage, Reginald presented Sasha with a nice fine bottle of champagne, compliments of Carmella. And Sasha Banks, she appreciated the gesture and everything. And she started warming up to Reginald, so we thought, and was giving him nice little compliments and everything. And wanted to know, hey, curious, what does Carmella drink exactly? Because tell you what, that's what you need to hook me up with, because it was nice how she kind of threw it back, because the way she threw it back on Reginald, she pretty much was like, tell Carmella, get me the nice finest shit, because this Sunday, I'm looking to have a drink after I bust Carmella up, right? It was kind of like one of those type of deals. And Reginald looks on at the bottle of champagne that he was supposed to give to Banks, and he's looking at it, got a nice little smile on his face, like, okay, party for one. Like, yeah, party for one indeed. Next up, high quality shit here, man. High quality shit. The interview segment between Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens. Man, it gave me WCCW vibes. World class championship wrestling. The Von Erichs, Fritz, and all. I mean, it gave me some nice. I mean, when I saw this going down, I had those type of flashbacks and everything. I also had got the freaking Stone Cold Rock. It was just kind of just briefly there. I'm not saying those guys are. I'm just saying what it reminded me of in younger years for me personally. That for me, between Roman and Kevin, that was the segment of the night. That's the one thing that I will say with regards to SmackDown. No matter what, even if it's a case where I just go on YouTube or whatever just to find little clips of, okay, what's the highlights from SmackDown? I always go out of my way to watch the Roman Reigns shit. I love it. I love it. He has been doing a phenomenal job. Superb job. Right down to the point, as far as superstar of the year and all that, remember the show that we did a couple of weeks back? And we were going over the year-end awards for WWE. Go back a couple of weeks if you had missed that. Yeah, for me, Roman Reigns definitely would have had it in my book, as far as I'm concerned. He's been doing that damn good of a job. But yeah, I love the psychological warfare that they had laid out in this talking segment, because Roman's going into this asking Kevin Owens about his dad, asking him about whether his dad is a good man, is his dad smart, asking about Kevin Owens' grandfather, and I mean he was really going there. And you got Kevin Owens, you can see he's being rattled. You see his buttons are being pushed, and he's trying to resist taking the bait. But Roman just keeps, and I just love this unhinged Roman Reigns that, is saying to Kevin Owens, you just don't understand. You just don't. You don't get it. But you will. You'll get it soon after Sunday. I mean, the way he just was able to throw Roman's father and grandfathers into his face, saying, your grandfathers, your fathers, they know to respect the tribal chief. But apparently you don't. It's like, so you must be stupid. So if you're stupid, then your father's stupid. And if your father's stupid, then your grandfather's stupid. I mean, it was going down some, ooh man, shit getting fire. Loved it. Good remote interview between those two guys before going to a commercial break. I loved it. And for those of you that might be curious, yes, Kevin took the bait. Owens took the bait. He fucking snapped. And, I'm looking forward to that match. Out of all the matches at the Royal Rumble, Owens, Reigns. Owens, that's the one thing. That's one thing about Kevin Owens that you can not deny. Kevin Owens, in those pay-per-view matches, whenever it comes to a pay-per-view, he always over-delivers. Always. This should be another instant classic that we got coming up at the Royal Rumble. Another backstage segment. A lot of backstage segments tonight. Sami Callihan was trying to sweet talk Nakamura. Pretty much telling Nakamura, look, from your days in NXT to the main roster, any success that's come your way, in some shape or form, I've been the focal point of it. It's been courtesy because of me. I need this favor. I need you in my corner in my quest to become the Intercontinental Champion again. I had you, I've had your back over the years. So what do you say? Will you have mine this go around? I need you right now more than ever. Nakamura pretty much told Sami Callihan to go to hell. I'm like, all right, that's what's up. That's what's up. Let's see. Other than that, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles. Finally get to this matchup. Daniel Bryan winning it via disqualification. This match had a lot of potential to be good, and it deserved to be better executed than what we got tonight. Now, let me just stress, it's not the fault of AJ and Daniel Bryan. It's not their fault by any means. But, when you really stop and you think about it, you're looking at what time it is that these guys are having their match, and you're going, it's about time for that main event match, isn't it? Yeah, it's almost time. We kind of go there. What's up? But yeah, it had a lot of potential to be something special. Because it's like, okay, AJ, Daniel Bryan, these are two veterans here. Yeah, just fucking do 4 or 5 segments with these guys. Let the other guys have a break. Let them rest. We're good on this. This is great. We didn't get it. We didn't get it. A lot of chaos had erupted. Nakamura comes out there, starts kicking the crap out of Zayn and Styles. Nakamura, Cesaro, they're squaring off. Not trading blows, however. Um, didn't I'm trying to think for a second. Yeah, Big E got in there as well. So we pretty much take a commercial break. We come back. Now we got ourselves a 6-man tag match. So now it's Daniel Bryan, Big E, Nakamura taking on Cesaro, AJ Styles, Sami Zayn. You guys may hear Cesaro. Cesaro was at ringside on commentary watching the match between Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. And then, like I said, all that chaos had pretty much erupted, and that's how we get to that match. Yeah. Okay for what it was worth, but, for me, they just lost me. They really did. They lost me after this because I got to tell you something. If there's one thing I've started to not like as I've gotten older as a wrestling fan, I can't stand it when we get that one spot. Y'all know exactly the spot I'm talking about if you watch Smackdown tonight. Everybody's doing the fucking finisher. Everybody's got to do their own goddamn finisher. I got to get my shit in. I just got to. Look, it's nothing personal against these wrestlers. Nothing personal. I'm sure that, look, when they got their script and, this is what's going to happen, blah this, blah that, all right, cool. But for me, that it just seems so lazy, Like I got to watch all 6 of these motherfuckers do finishers on each other. And it's not a case where, this person did a finisher, goes for a cover, it gets broken. Nah, it's pretty much you. I'm going to do a finisher on you. And then somebody taps me on my shoulders, I turn around, that motherfucker does a finisher on me. And then, and it's like rinse, repeat. That just gets so played out. I can't stand shit like that where every single body that's wrestling has got to get a finisher in there in that sequence. Put some spontaneity to it, Do like, okay, I tap you on the shoulders, I hit you with my finisher. Somebody taps me on the shoulders, hit me with a finisher, they go for the cover, somebody breaks it up, match continues for a couple more minutes, somebody comes in, gets a finisher. Yeah, do it like that. We ain't got to go through all of that, and then the fucking match ain't over. Yeah, that was just what the fuck. And then some point, I don't know like what the fuck's going on here. It just seems so disorganized. Somehow Otis comes out, lays out Miz and Morrison. I'm really trying to make sense out of all this shit because at some point Miz and Morrison came out. Now you got Otis out there. Oh yeah, all this other crazy shit. So now it becomes a 9-man tag match. All right, so now we got Daniel Bryan, Nakamura, Big E, and Otis taking on AJ Styles, Cesaro, Sami Zayn, Miz, and Morrison. This was pretty much, the way it ended. Well, we didn't exactly get an official set of winners. All chaos erupting yet again as all the participants are beating the crap out of each other, and you're kind of getting that whole, okay, Royal Rumble, every man for himself, essentially. Oh! That's the music of Braun Strowman. We hadn't seen Braun Strowman since Survivor Series. He comes out, laying havoc to every freaking body. He just freaking clears fucking house. Right? Looked to be in phenomenal shape. Braun Strowman looks to be more leaner. Still bulky, by the way. Still bulky. But he looks a lot leaner this go round. So I remember seeing a couple of things of him on social media within recent weeks, but I haven't really been going out of my way to look at his social media feed. So, but yeah, pretty much it ends with Braun Strowman. I mean, you guys, am I right? I mean, let me know, because at this point, I'm pretty much setting up the stream, getting everything ready to go. But Braun Strowman cleaned house. That pretty much ended SmackDown. So now you're kind of wondering, So when it comes to a Royal Rumble, Braun is back. Could Braun possibly win the Rumble? Curious minds want to know. But for me, the brightest spots for SmackDown this week, Bianca and Bayley, for sure. The Roman Reigns talking segment. And you know what? For what it was worth, I actually enjoyed Dominic Mysterio and King Corbin. Everything else, I could have did without, honestly. Everything else I could have did without. I would have been good. But, you know, they got to fill out 2 hours somehow. So it is what it is there. But, yeah, buddy, Road to WrestleMania. We are on. By the way, friendly reminder, in case those of you are tuning in just now, I got 2 polls up. One's on Twitter at the RCWR Show, and we got another one on the YouTube channel, letting you guys know, hey, Royal Rumble this weekend. Would you like the ability to call into the show, say via Discord, sound off? And you got until early Sunday afternoon. Cutoff time is going to be 2 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you cast your votes there and let me know. Again, if the majority vote is yes, you want the ability to call into the show, you're going to be able to call into the show via Discord. That's how we're going to be doing it. So, FYI. Hopefully we won't have any fucked up weather at that point, because we're supposed to be getting snow. We don't know how much just yet. I'll know what's going on when I get ready to check out the news after the show is over. Hey, we got loads more show left, man. So keep it right here, okay? You're checking out the RCWR show. Let's get into some Patreon shout-outs before we continue on with the show. And look, man, can't stress enough, if you guys have been enjoying the show so far, do hit the like button. For those of you that's checking out the webcast stream right now, hit the like button. That lets the team at YouTube know you appreciated the content, you like it, and it helps YouTube out as far as recommendations to other tubers out there. Recommend our channel and all that. I always hear all the time, hey, great content, you know, you should have more views, or you should have more likes, or hey, what can I do to kind of spread the good word? Like, well, that's what you can do. It's a nice gesture. Don't cost you a damn thing. Get into some Patreon shout outs. But remember, patreon.com/RCWR show. Check out bonus audio video content you won't be able to find anywhere else. Shout out to Patreon members Anthony DeBlasi. Don Tony, shout out to you, my friend. Love you. Shout out to Freddie. Shout out to Gino Morgan. Shout out to Justin Ripstock, Michael Wolf, J.D. Davis. J.D. Also, special shout out to Tony Bing Gaming. You want the very latest in all things Marvel Strike Force, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Marvel's Avengers by Square Enix for tips, tricks, news, walkthroughs, reviews. Tony Bing Gaming, he is the man. Check him out. He's got a Patreon paywall as well. So, we'll get to Royal Rumble in a hot minute. We'll definitely get to Royal Rumble in a hot minute. Let's get into some wrestling little tidbits, and we can also get into some wrestling news for sure. First off, I want to take this time out on a more serious note. I want to take this time out, and I want to offer my thoughts, condolences, prayers to the family, close friends, colleagues of Cecily Tyson. A career that spanned 7 decades, folks. 7 decades. Passed away at the age of 96. I mean, you talk about a woman, a black woman, who was a freaking juggernaut. You want to talk about a trailblazer in TV and in film. Passed away peacefully, no complications, no COVID. Passed away. It was just her time. Age of 96. Hey, man, that is a beautiful, nice, long, rich life. When you hear of people that pass away in their 80s, 90s, and it's pretty much natural causes, it's just their time, there's no reason to feel, you're going to feel sad anyway, but it's easier to know that, well, it was just their time. Nothing is forever, right? It was just their time. Considering all the craziness that's been going on with the COVID, and we've seen that COVID has taken people, you could speculate if a year, 2 years earlier before their time, you could speculate that all you want. The truth is we really don't know. You look at Larry King. Larry King came down with COVID, and that pretty much essentially is what took him out and everything. But to hear of somebody able to make it into their 80s, 90s, pass away, and it ain't COVID related, man, all you got to do is, when you hear that, you just got to knock on wood and then just kind of lean back and go, that's a damn good run. They did all right. They were doing something right. So 7 decades her career spanned in TV and in film. For me, when I think about Cecily Tyson, we got to remember something, man. When she was doing her thing, as an actress, I'm just reminded about how it was for Black women in cinema. I don't want to go 30 with Lee on you guys. For those of you that know all about that series, especially our Patreon members, you know that with the 30 with Lee series, I'm pretty much balls deep talking all things film and TV and everything. But take a step back. Take a step back. Cecily Tyson's career essentially began in the late 1940s. So just think about what was going on with cinema back then. With cinema, more particularly, what was going on for Black actors back then. And sadly, you want to be an accountant, you want to be a judge, you want to be a lawyer, you want to portray these characters on film back then, way back then. Nah. Now, if you were Black, no, you're either going to be a butler, a maid, a chauffeur. Is that all of them? I mean, I don't think I'm missing anything. A butler, a maid, a chauffeur, a cook, a waiter. That's pretty much it. You're gonna be doing some type of day labor work in the film, right? Some type of blue collar shit. That's pretty much it. You ain't gonna get those meaty, juicy little roles or whatever. So that's pretty much the territory that Cecily Tyson was dealing with. And then add on top of that the racial discrimination that you had going on back then. Just think about the stereotypes. We don't need to go all world history here, right? We don't need to go. You get it. I know you guys get it because you guys are a smart fucking group of people. You know your shit. And for the most part, I see the age demographics. A lot of you guys a bit more on the older side. So you guys, you get it. Don't need to go any further than that. So, you think about that. You think about one of her first acting roles. It was on NBC TV series, Frontiers of Faith. That went down in 1951. Then you think about the first film role that she had in Carib Gold. What was that? 1955, 1956. That came about. Small roles, here and there, tearing it up on the stage and everything. Here's a woman when it's all said and done, being a little long-winded, but let's really drive it home. Here's a woman in Cecily Tyson that cared a great deal about the types of roles that she played. She wanted for these roles that she played to be very empowering. She wanted to be inspiring. She wanted to break new ground. She didn't want to just settle in the typical what I just described a few seconds ago. So definitely a trailblazer from those standpoints, and just chipping away, building her brand, during those 50s and 60s. But the stardom really, it opened up big time once she went into the 70s, and everything began 1972's film Sounder. That's what got her nominated for an Academy Award and a Golden Globe for Best Actress. And, if you guys have not seen that film, you really owe it to yourselves to go out there and check it out. But that's pretty much what really put her on the map and everything. You also think about what she did in the Roots TV series. Fucking Roots. You think about when was The Help? Was The Help in 2011? It's just crazy when you think about it, because pretty much within every decade, Cecily Tyson was just continuing to. There's been many roles that she's passed up on because she cared a great deal about, okay, if I'm going to be portraying this black person, just what type of character is this person exactly? Am I the right person to be doing this? Yeah, you think about when she had portrayed Coretta Scott King. If you guys remember that, I'll tell you something that kind of made me do a double take that I wasn't really aware of. Well, I won't say wasn't aware of. I'll say I forgot about. I totally blanked out that for a brief period in time, she was married to Miles Davis. I don't know how many of you guys remember that, or if you even knew that. But yeah, for a brief period in time, she was married to Miles Davis. She was married to him, if I remember it right, I believe she was married to him for about 4 years. And it was interesting because in the 70s, they pretty much were courting each other and seemed like they were getting pretty hot and heavy. Things were getting pretty close. But then Miles Davis, you thought maybe he was going to marry her. He ended up marrying somebody else. So, of course, that didn't work out, And then you fast forward some years later, and somehow Miles Davis, Cecily Tyson, they come back together. And this go round, they actually get married, have a kid in the process. And I think Miles Davis has 4 kids, one deceased. I think Miles Davis, the 4th, I think that's the one who passed away. He changed his name. I don't know if he did like the Nation of Islam or what, but he had passed away a handful of years ago. But Miles Davis cited Cecily Tyson many times in interviews. Gave her a lot of credit for helping him kick the habit, getting off the drugs and all that. He constantly, anytime he was interviewed, he constantly gave her a lot of praise. So yeah, you think about what she did there, Roots, playing Kunta Kinte's mother. Of all the roles, Kunta Kinte's mother, 1991's Fried Green Tomatoes. I mean, we'd be here going on and on and on. House of Cards. How to Get Away with Murder. If I remember it right, I believe How to Get Away with Murder. I believe that was one of her last guest starring roles that she had in this new decade, basically. And if I remember it right, she played a character that was dealing with dementia. If I remember it right, I'll have to rely on you guys. But once again, coming in there, yeah, she played a mom, older mom, obviously, that was dealing with dementia. Always looking for cool ways to bring dignity, grace, class to the roles that she portrayed. That says a lot, especially like I said, when you really kind of take a step back and you just look at cinema from when she officially entered in 1948. Just play it back in your head there. The 40s, the 50s, just play that back, right? Then you go into the 60s. Ooh, you talk about all-time high racial tensions right there. Really 50s and definitely going into the 60s, all-time high tensions. Just think about that. Then start thinking about the rise of blaxploitation films. Remember, we got the Pam Griers that's pretty much running around, showing the boobies and the ass and all that, right? Sex, that's what's really selling, right? You thought she maybe got lost in that? You thought maybe she would embrace? No, she just kept right on chipping. Quality, not quantity. Remember, that's something that we always talk about here on the show on a regular basis. But yeah, definitely thoughts and prayers again to friends, colleagues, relatives of Cecily Tyson. 96 though, that's a damn good run. A damn good run. See, also, I didn't find this out until, God, I think I was actually talking to a buddy of mine at work. 1 year has passed since Kobe Bryant passed away. I mean, this week marks it. 1 year. I tell you, I'm not gonna sit here and say to you guys, it feels like it was just yesterday. What I will say, it feels like really a year for me personally. I don't know, teach its own, but for me, it's really a year. Man, it feels like it was only maybe 6 months ago. For me, it kind of feels like that, and I think with everything that has been happening with basketball last season and the early startup, because I think basketball came back in December, so. But yeah, very hard to believe. January 26th had marked the 1 year passing of Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and all those people that had lost their lives on that helicopter, that tragic day. And I tell you, I still remember the day I found out what was going on with Kobe. I remember. Oh, God. Sick. I just remember feeling sick. I remember feeling very nauseous, extremely nauseous. And I couldn't believe what the hell I was hearing. I thought it was a joke. I thought somebody was playing a cruel, sick, mean joke. And I was just expecting for Kobe, somehow through his people, put out some type of statement. And it never happened. It never happened. And I remember one of the first people I spoke to was actually my woman. My woman actually texted me. And she was like, "Are you okay? I just heard the news. Are you okay?" And if I remember it right, because it was a year ago, but I definitely remember for sure she checked in on me and because she was actually at work that day. And man, I just remember saying to myself, this doesn't feel real. This can't be. No, no, no. Kobe? No. Fuck no. No, not Kobe. And I remember being so upset. I was literally shaking in anger. And I just said, okay, I gotta cool myself off. I gotta calm down. And I remember I hopped in the shower. Normally when I feel kind of agitated, pretty worked up, shower does the trick for me, loosens me up. I remember I went in the shower and I just started bawling out like a little baby. I just started bawling out. And, I was well aware of the contributions that Kobe made to the sport of basketball, and the fact that this man was able to hang it up, make a smooth transition, life after basketball. He was doing very well. Winning a freaking Academy Award for Dare Basketball. I mean, how about that? How about that? Right? Like, shut up and dribble. Like, yeah, I got something for your ass. And he goes and does that. Future just seemed like Kobe's gonna be all right. Post basketball, yeah. Kobe's like, we ain't gotta worry about Kobe. That's just how I felt. Like, Kobe's gonna be all right. But I never could imagine the magnitude of how much of an impact Kobe's passing would have nationwide. I mean, I think that's the one thing that really kind of took me back, was just seeing how universally loved the man was. That really, really kind of took me off guard there. And I try to do my best not to think about the events of that tragic day and the circumstances surrounding all those precious lives being lost. And you got to be careful when you talk about that particular day as well, because not for nothing, but you see just the other day 4,000 plus lives were lost because of this pandemic. There are a lot of families right now that do not have that loved one sitting across from them at the table. You feel me? And this pandemic, just daily basis, they're saying we're probably gonna hit over 500,000 before the end of February. You're like, what? So you kind of have to be a little bit careful. But for me, I try to do my best not to think about how Kobe and those other lives, his daughter and those other lives that were lost on that plane. I try not to think about that. Instead, I try to focus more on the impact that man made on and off the basketball court, and the contributions that he's made. And that just, if anything, I think more about the family he leaves behind, including his wife. I think about them. I think about the close friends that are all just, you never forget. You never do. When somebody passes, you never forget. You don't. But somehow, whether you want to or not, somehow you have to piece everything together one day at a time until eventually the grieving, it's never easy. It never is. Sometimes I still think about my uncle that I had lost due to gun violence back in the 90s. Sometimes I still think about him. That death for me had a profound impact on me, because that was my official first time that I was ever exposed to death in the family. Here I am, what is it, 10 going on 11, and I'm exposed to death, you know. And it's not just the whole homicide detectives knocking on your door and they're pretty much telling you your uncle is dead, killed in a essentially a drive-by shooting, so to speak. But then you have to see your uncle in an open casket. Shit like that, it stays with you well into adulthood. So I still, there's probably not a year that goes by I don't think about my uncle from time to time. He was nice to me. Out of all the family members, he was very nice to me. He would always try to do stuff with me. Go play basketball. Play arcades. He was kind of like the big brother I wish I had. If I could have a big brother, he was kind of like that. And what was so sad, really sad about his passing, man, he was killed in his 20s. Yeah, I think he died somewhere between the age of, I think he died somewhere between the age of 23 to 27. So yeah, this is, young man still trying to figure out his place in the world and all that, cut very short, you know. You don't forget. You don't forget. Coping with the loss, I don't want to say easier, because for me, it just kind of feels like a poor choice of words. But do you experience better days? Yeah, you do. But I can only imagine the wounds that are opened up right now with it being a year later for that family. So, yeah, legacy intact for Kobe Bryant. Let me tell you something right down to the point. Right down to the point. Michael Jordan can live until he is 75, 80, 96 years old. Oh, everybody's going to have their MJ stories and all of that. But, it feels like, I could be wrong. I'll have to ask you guys, but it feels like Kobe will forever eclipse Michael Jordan. Am I wrong about that? But that's just how it feels. And I'm not just saying that. I don't want people to get that twisted in any type of way. You're talking to somebody born and raised in Chicago. I remember watching Michael Jordan when he was playing for North Carolina. I remember when he got drafted to the Bulls. I remember watching all the runs there. But, it just feels like Jordan can live until he's a nice old man, go away due to natural causes, or smoking gets the best, whatever. But it just feels like Kobe has essentially eclipsed him, inadvertently. But you understand what I'm saying? I guess because the what could have been. I don't know, something to kind of ponder there. So I see Shaquille O'Neal. He would use inside the NBA. I watched this and I just laughed my ass off. But apparently, Shaq has officially accepted he will wrestle Cody Rhodes. I'm just looking at this and I'm just going, what the hell? What the hell? Inside the NBA, Shaq confirmed he intends to wrestle the AEW EVP. And during the broadcast, Shaq said that he and Jade Cargill would take on Cupcake, Cody Rhodes, and Red Pumpkin Pie, Red Velvet. That's her real name. And it was funny because you had the other members of the panel, they doubted him, they were heckling him and all that. And he doubled down and said that Rhodes could name the place and he'll freaking do it. So if you guys did, of course, we all know where it's going to be happening. It's going to be happening March 7th. It's going to be happening at, what's that, AEW's Revolution event. So looking forward to that. That should be good. By the way, I see that the official AEW and NXT numbers are out. I was way, way off, I got to tell you. But as far as who I thought was going to actually win, I did get that part right. But yeah, man, the ratings for this week. Ooh. So let me recap for you guys what I said the other day. I put this out there. I said AEW, I was projecting 824,000 viewers. NXT, I was projecting 658,209 viewers. Now, the official numbers for this week. Check this out. Dynamite averaged 734,000 viewers. Meanwhile, NXT brought in 720,000 viewers. Yeah. I mean, so combined, for something, almost 1.5 million for fans. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for a Wednesday night. That's pretty damn good. So Dynamite came in at number 6 for the night on cable in the 18 to 49 demo. That's up from the previous week, which was number 31. So I mean, that's pretty good. With regards to this week's NXT, drawing their average of 720,000 viewers, not bad. They did pretty good. They did pretty good, as in their 18 to 49 demo, they came in at number 24. That's up from the previous week. Previous week, they were at number 67. So, overall, this week, AEW defeated NXT by a mere 14,000 viewers. Again, a mere 14,000 viewers. So, I mean, that's pretty good. I definitely want to check out the quarter reports, though, for what's going on. I definitely want to peep that out. So, to my knowledge, that's not available just yet, but I'll let you guys know when it is available. Trust me, we'll definitely talk about it here on the show. Keep rocking and rolling. Roman Reigns had weighed in on the Undertaker criticism of the current roster, saying soft. He weighed in on it. Remember, we talked about this earlier in the week. But Roman Reigns is the latest guy to comment about this. He was on, I'm trying to give credit where credit is due. Here's what he said. Roman Reigns said this to Sports Illustrated Media. Here's what he had to say. And a direct quote here on old school criticism of current era product. This is Roman Reigns now. We do the same job. It's not like the bumps got any worse or any better. You're always hearing a drop kick was a finish back in my time. A drop kick is like the second move you see in a wrestling match nowadays. We're doing a lot more. And sometimes I think we're a lot more physical. And because the audience has seen so much more, we have to do a little more in order to pique their interest, in order to show them something different. What we call a false finish, a pin that people believe will be the final move of a match, we go through those like Steamboat Savage. You'll see that on a Smackdown. You'll see 15 false finishes on a Smackdown. Now, with regards to Undertaker's comments on the product being soft, it's strange. I really feel like he misspoke because Mark is a really good guy. He's very knowledgeable. Obviously, he has a ton of respect for the business. Goldberg is just Goldberg. Who cares? Now, let me back up a second. That may throw some of you guys off. Wait a minute, why is he invoking Goldberg's name? What the fuck is up with that? There's a reason why. So, Goldberg, I sadly do not have the interview credit that I can give, but Goldberg was interviewed. Sadly, I do not. If you guys want to tell me who it was, go ahead, but I wish I could give credit where credit is due. But he was recently interviewed, and here's what he had to say about what Undertaker said of the WWE product being soft. Goldberg's own words. And let me take a swig of this. And I quote, "Yes, I believe comparatively to my era that the business is soft. But the business is in 2021. So things have to change and things have to be different. We had mega superstars that were bigger than life. But it's hard in this generation, seemingly, to build those people. There are a couple of people who have made it beyond relying upon the public to do that, and they forced their way up and they've earned their spot. Drew McIntyre is one of them." All right. You got that in the back of your head? All right. So keep that in the back of your head. Now you understand why Roman just brings up the Goldberg name there. Goldberg is just Goldberg. Who cares? But he's talking about guns and knives in the locker room. Come on. You guys traveled just like we did. Did you really get that stuff through security? TSA was just letting everything happen back then? I choose to play video games sometimes on my own time. I don't do it at work. As you can see, some of my character is based around it. I've always been one that networked and politicked and tried to communicate and work while I'm at work. Some guys choose to stay in the locker room. And for guys like the New Day, who are uberly talented, they can get away with that. I hope the younger guys in the locker room don't fall into that because we're not all the same. I have to put my whole mind into work as I come to work on a Friday. Sometimes my wife has to tell me to shut it off. She'll be like, "Stop, be at home, be present," because I can't turn it off sometimes. And I think to be at the highest level of anything, you have to be borderline obsessive. So yeah, I don't always think there's room for video games in the locker room, but when we're running our regular touring system and it's a live event and there's nowhere to go, you got kicked out of the hotel because you couldn't get the late checkout. You already hit the gym. You already picked up your food and you're sitting in the locker room. I'd rather my guys be playing video games than breaking into a bag of some sort. It's a different time, and I think we're smarter. I think you're going to see that from the financial side of it. He's absolutely right. I mean, we talked about the whole WWE Peacock deal. We talked about that. There's a new interesting development with regards to the WWE Peacock deal, just from a cosmetic standpoint. And let me actually see if I have that article, because when I have found that article today, I just thought that was so freaking fascinating, and I wanted to talk about it. Hang on a second here, guys. Oh, the new update that's been going on, by the way, for iOS devices, I'm not liking it. Let me tell you something. There's this new update with iOS where when it comes to the tabs, they're doing this. Hang on. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Hang on. And I lost all my tabs that were open. That sucks. Yeah, from a cosmetic standpoint, I'm going off of memory here, so if I miss anything, let me know. But apparently with the WWE Peacock, a lot of people are very concerned about what's going to happen once the WWE network launches on there, because as it stands on Peacock, let's just say there's a hockey game on right now. You tune in. Oh, hockey game's on. Shit, yeah, I meant to watch this. I want to watch it from the beginning. Peacock does not give you that option to watch from the beginning. There's no option to rewind while you're watching something live. So you're kind of going, what the fuck? So, so what's going to happen there? Because think about it. The way the WWE network is operating right now, you can miss about 15 minutes of a kickoff, 15 minutes of a pay-per-view, and you can pretty much come in, watch it from the beginning, and you're pretty much good to go. What happens when here's another good example. Here's another good example. Let's say because there's another function that's missing as well. Let's say you're in the middle of a show. Your significant other comes in. Oh, you're watching this without me? Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, well, no, that's okay. Anyway, you can just hit start from the beginning so we can watch it together. There's no option to start at the beginning. So, like, when you hear those little things that's going on, and this is what's currently happening with Peacock. So when you hear that, you can't help but wonder, okay, so what exactly does that mean for the WWE network? Are there going to be some tweaks here and there that's going to be happening, to make sure that what we're experiencing right now and have been experiencing since the network's launch is, or are those features going to disappear? You kind of can't help, but wonder. You can't help but wonder. I'm trying to see if I can actually find it, because I think there was like some other stuff. I remember there was like some other stuff that was going on. With that, but I doubt. Yep, you know what? I found it. I actually found it. And in the process of it, I found something. I found something rather new, where Joseph and Corey Graves apparently had a conversation about the Peacock deal. And Vic Joseph said that fans are just lazy because they don't want to learn how to do something new. It all comes down to one word: laziness. I only say this because I have talked to my younger siblings. People are just too lazy to download something that's new, to put their credit card information, sit there, and punch in the numbers. They'll do it eventually, but right now they are complaining about it. It is the same thing that you had to do when you got the WWE network to begin with. What's the big deal? It's such a big waste of time. It's all laziness, and the laziness of some people in society are the same ones that speak down about this move. They have to do something different, and you'll save $5. This all goes back to the laziness. Oh, it's only $5. They will complain that you can't fill your gas tank. What do you mean? It's just the laziness of this generation. Oh, I have to do this whole thing. It will happen eventually. Now, you know what? I got to take a pause right there. I don't know, and I did not even plan on talking about that. I wasn't even aware that Vic Joseph had said all of those things on Corey Graves' show. I was looking for another piece of news, but I don't know exactly. First of all, how old is Vic Joseph? Is Vic Joseph even 40 and up? Because why is he talking like, well, back in my day? So first off, let's find out how old Vic Joseph is. I was kind of under the impression that Vic Joseph was in his late 20s to maybe mid 30s. Apparently he was born supposedly in 1985. So what does that make him? If he was born in 85, if I'm 40, then that means he should be what? He should be 34, going on 35, because apparently his birthday is on July 8th. So if he was born in 85, am I correct? He should be 34, going on 35. So, that's I don't know what's going on exactly with his inner circle, but if his main source is his siblings that are, yeah, I wouldn't be so quick to say everybody is being lazy. I beg to differ on that. you're talking to somebody that's interacted with people in forums, message boards, Discord, and no, the number one thing that people were concerned about, and we kind of documented it, but we just kind of glanced over it essentially, based on people I've been talking to and just kicking back, just seeing what everybody's saying. The number one thing that people are most concerned about with this move to Peacock is, okay, what's gonna happen with my current WWE subscription when it comes to me migrating to Peacock? Am I gonna have a certain time period where I need to use my same WWE Network credentials and use it for Peacock, and boom, I'm good to go? Or, do I have to do a whole new fresh sign up? That's where their concern is right now. Everybody doesn't care about, oh, we get to save well, they care. They like the fact that they get to save an extra $5 for basically going over to Peacock and all that. But see, you also have some people that are going, well, wait a minute. Why is Peacock being forced upon me? I wasn't interested in Peacock before. They don't have any content that I would be interested in checking out. Why can't I just have the option to continue having my WWE network separate from this entity over here? Like, what the hell? Not to mention, there were also people that were complaining about Peacock from a tech standpoint, because even though, and I had made sure I took a screenshot of this, and let me pull up my images here. I can tell you exactly what I'm talking about. From a tech standpoint, for TV, you can get Peacock for Android, Apple, Cox, LG TV, Roku, Vizio, Xfinity. For computer, Chrome, Mac, Windows, mobile and tablet, Android phone, tablets, iPhone and iPad, game consoles, PlayStation, Xbox. Now, there were actually people that were complaining, that were Nintendo guys. Oh man, what the hell? I'm not going to be able to enjoy the WWE Network, if they're going to be going to, because I'm accessing what I'm accessing through the Nintendo. It's like, okay, well, that does kind of suck, don't it? So you got a couple of people that are, from a tech standpoint, that are concerned, that are legit concerned, and I understand that. But the main point is, okay, the transition. Yeah, do people like not like change? No, they don't like change. Shit, I remember right before I had left Verizon Fios for my TV package. I pretty much had the triple bundle. I have Verizon Fios for the longest time for TV, internet, and phone. And the bill was just so eventually, with regards to the home phone, like I'm not using the home phone. My girl's not using the home phone. Mother-in-law's not using the home phone. Like, why the fuck do we have this? So we replaced that, got a Magic Jack. All right, that's one. Why are we paying all this money for these channels that we won't even watch? What the fuck? So we eventually got rid of files for the TV. Now we just strictly have files for the internet. TV, we went with YouTube TV. I'm loving it. YouTube TV, I'm good. I am good. I like what I'm able to watch. Aside from subscriptions, I have the WWE Network, HBO Max, Netflix. I'm good. I'm fucking good. And I'm saving a lot of money on a monthly basis to go from basically paying damn near $250 monthly to now I'm only paying I'm being quiet for a little bit. I'm doing some quick math, but I'll keep, so 64 for YouTube TV, $15 for HBO Max. Let's see, what's that? Let's just say 65. So 65 and 15. That puts us at basically 80. So 80 plus 15, so 95. Netflix, so we're at 95. About 80, 90 bucks for the internet. And I said I was originally paying 250. So you do the math from there. So I mean, especially like when you add it up after a year. And that was one of the main focal points for switching, because one day my girl did the math and she said, "You know how much money we're losing by having all this shit bundled? Like, you know how much money we're losing in a year?" I'm like, "How much?" And if I remember it right, I want to say it was like $4,000. Yeah, like $4,000. She's like, that's an extra $4,000 we could have in our pockets. I'm like, really? So, I don't like change either. I remember when Verizon Files did a major update, and they had changed the whole way the layout was for channel navigation. This was right before I ended my services with them too. So I want to say they did this, and y'all know exactly what I'm talking about if you got Verizon Files. They did this major update. I want to say it was like late summer. It felt like it was maybe September going into October. They did this major update, and the channel layout and all that was completely different. And I just remember I did not like it. And I remember just going on and on about it. Just from a cosmetic standpoint, I wasn't feeling it. But yeah, no, most people, they don't like change. But in particular, in this day and age when people are, yeah, and this is the point that I think Vic Joseph is really, really missing here. In these times, it's like picking apples at the grocery store. You, the consumer, you walk into that grocery store, you feel like some apples, and you're just cherry picking what apples you're going to put into your basket and take home with you. That is the day and age that we are now in when it comes to our entertainment content. Okay, I've got my internet. Okay, yeah. Do I want HBO Max? Do I want Crunchyroll? Do I want Hulu? Do I want YouTube TV? Do I want Sling TV? Do I want insert? And once you've made up your mind, okay, this is what I'm going to go with, I'm good to go. You're good. Man, somebody could tell you till they're blue in the face. Oh, you got to check out, in this case, you got to check out Peacock. You got to check this out. You got to check this out. You got to check this out. They're like, nah, I'm really good. I don't care for it. I don't really need to be checking it out. I'm good. Really, I'm good. I don't need it. They ain't got nothing that I'm interested in. I'm good. And then one day you just hear, hey, you know that one network that you like? Yeah, what about it? Well, apparently they merged with, so now if you want to watch that, that's essentially been fused into this. You got to go over here. But I don't care. And see, that is where WWE and NBC need to do a better job in enlightening the fans on, no. This is actually a really good deal if you stop and think about it, because yeah, you may have to go out of your way to, check out this new app, this new network, if you will, for your WWE content. But on top of you saving money for being grandfathered in over here, and even if you're not one of those that's grandfathered in, the fact that it's just lower for particularly the WWE network is going to be cheaper to sign up for it. All right, that's a win-win for that fan. Number two, besides getting the WWE network for just that one price, you're able to check out all of those hours of content from Peacock. So, for me, it's a win-win to basically be able to sign up. I mean, really stop and think about it. Really stop and think about it. What you're paying right now, come March 18th, okay, now you got to go through Peacock for your WWE content. All the pay-per-views, beginning with something is supposed to be premiering. There's supposed to be a WWE pay-per-view that's supposed to be premiering on Peacock. I believe in March. I don't know if it's Fastlane or what, but something is supposed to be premiering on the network. All the major pay-per-views are going to be available on that WWE network through Peacock. So it's a win-win-win situation. And on top of all of that, you have the luxury now of, it's no different than, put it to you this way. Again, kind of just debuking what Vic Joseph was saying there. It's no different than all the people that signed up for HBO Max so they could watch Wonder Woman 1984. And then after they realized what a heaping pile of shit that movie was, well, they already got my money for the entire month. I might as well go on ahead and enjoy whatever I'm able to enjoy out of this trial, this month trial that I had. Well, I won't say it is a trial, but it's not a free trial. Let's be real. It ain't, because they made sure they got rid of the free trials leading up to Wonder Woman 1984. So you're going at that point, well, let me enjoy this month-long subscription that I have. Maybe I can check out some new stuff, and hopefully that's what most people did. Hopefully those that sign up for HBO Max, hopefully they checked out the West Wing special, When We All Vote. Hopefully they checked out the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion. Hopefully they checked out the Bee Gees documentary. There's a whole lot of cool content that's on HBO Max. Hopefully you didn't just sign up just for fucking Wonder Woman, but if you did and you got a bitter taste in your mouth, hopefully you went on ahead. You feel where I'm coming from? So, again, it's a win-win situation. I think those that will probably be kind of a little irked about the deal, is the fact that NBC Sports, that's pretty much no more. The way Peacock is trying to go about things now for NHL, for NASCAR racing, the way they're trying to go about it now, they want all of this to pretty much be exclusive to Peacock. So that's probably the one thing that I don't like about this whole deal, is how that is essentially being forced on to people. That I'm not liking. But I mean, consumers have no problem coughing up their hard-earned dollars. They just want to feel that they are getting their money's worth. So to hear that somebody is being lazy over $5, I kind of challenge that. I kind of challenge. I'd like to know what inner circle of people Vic Joseph is talking to there, because that is something that I have not ever seen since the news have first broke out. If anything, people just want to know what's going on with the sign-up process. Enough said. So, rebuke that little that thing right there, because I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Also, you know what? Shout out to Wade Barrett, by the way. Wade Barrett, in case you guys don't know, he officially, as of this week, became a United States citizen. So that's very awesome to hear. What really has me take a step back and just is the fact that Wade Barrett would have been well within his right when he saw what was going on with that past administration. All those laws and just how the president was just with regards to immigration. Wade Barrett would have been well within his right to say, "Hey, America, I love you, but shit, sorry." We'd have totally understood. Like, brother, some of us feel the same way. If we could help it, we wouldn't be here either. At least in this country. But for him to wing it out this long, and now he's officially a United States citizen. That's cool. Welcome, Wade Barrett. Welcome. I mean, that's really fucking cool. You know, you hear the story all the time about people that come to America. It all starts with a dream. The dream of wanting better, for themselves, for their family, being a success. You know, and for a lot of people, they're able to find all that when they come to this country, and more, and more. So, you know, when I hear something like that, that's really cool. That's really fucking cool. I know somebody's gonna ask me with regards to the whole Ryback Mark Henry latest fiasco. I could care less. So please don't ask me about that. I could care less about that. Jonathan Coachman had got some shots heard all around the wrestling community recently because a fan asked him on Twitter this week, "Hey, any chance you come back to the WWE? You know, we got the Royal Rumble coming up. What's up? Any way we could possibly see you in action?" Jonathan Coachman responded to this fan and said, "I will never go back to the WWE." Jesus Christ. Just to hear that. I mean, it'll get no freaking in black and white more simpler than that. Coach. Hey, look, can you blame the man? I mean, look, I don't know what it was. I gotta be honest with you. When Coach was with the WWE, the first rodeo, late 90s going into the late 2000s, mid-late 2000s, Coach was on fire. I mean, just from a commentary standpoint, I liked Coach. I truly did. During that first rodeo, I enjoyed Coach. And then when he became this colorful type of character, I was enjoying him even more. And when he left, you know, I won't say it was a big ass void or anything like that, but it was just after 5, 6, 7 weeks, where's Coach? What happened to Coach? It was kind of like one of those type of deals. Coach is no longer. Well, that sucks. So anyway, yeah, moving along. But when Coach came back during that 2018 period, what was it 2018 or what? I think he was there at some points in 2020. I think he was there. I'm not really sure, but definitely 2018 when he came back, had pretty much the sporadic appearances. Whatever he had during that first rodeo with WWE, whatever that aura, that mojo, it was gone. It was gone. And I don't know if that was a case where the whole ESPN really got the best of him and what he was doing with CBS Sports. I don't know if that really, I can't quite put my finger on it. And what I mean by that is, you know, for some people, okay, here's a better analogy. Here's a perfect analogy. Perfect analogy. For me, and this has happened before, years ago, one and only time during my show history this has happened. I remember when I was working 2 full-time jobs. Y'all remember, I was working one job and then a graveyard shift. And then once that job was over, I'm immediately going to my morning job. If I was lucky, you know, by the time I would get home, I would sleep about Man, those were the days. Those were the days. Those were rough. All right, so my graveyard shift would go from 11 o'clock at night until 7 in the morning. By the time I would get off from that first job, I pretty much would go downtown, nice little restaurant I would have breakfast at every day. You know, I would usually get a bagel, cereal. You know, once in a while I'd get a full meal, but, you know, typically I'm doing bagel and cereal. I was doing it every day. My job officially began for the second job like about 8:30 in the morning. And I would usually go from 8:30 until 2:30 in the afternoon. By the time I got home, it was about 3:45. I have pretty much, as soon as I walk in the door, I'm pretty much stripping out of my clothes. I'm putting on my pajamas. I'm letting the dog out. Boom, I'm in the bed. I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping until 8:30 at night. Yeah, it was like that. So to basically, you know, get like 4, barely 5 hours of sleep and then be out the door, rinse, repeat, fucking do the shit again. I remember I got pretty burned out after a while, and there was a period where the shows suffered significantly as a result, and it just got to a point where the show was essentially on hiatus. But once I eventually was able to navigate those waters and you know come back to doing the shows on a regular basis, it was like I never missed a beat. The hard part was just to get me to sit down and do a show. When I look at Jonathan Coachman, it seems to me when he left initially from WWE, and then all those, you know, years had passed, and then he comes back, you know, what should be very easy of a glove to just slide into, all right, still fits well, everything's clicking, you know, like I never missed a beat. And we've seen what has happened with Jerry Lawler, Jim Ross, and his health problems, and these guys are able to just come in, they don't miss a beat. It never fucking clicked for Coach. I don't know what it was. I don't know why. Maybe because he was in other places. Who knows? But I think, you know, WWE will honestly be all right without him. They'll be all right. I miss him, but I miss the old Coach when it's all said and done. I miss the old Coach. By the way, rest in peace to Vince McMahon's brother. Vince McMahon's older brother, Rod McMahon, passed away at the age of 77. A lot of people are speculating, oh, this was probably why Vince McMahon wasn't at the tapings for la da 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 da. It was because, yeah, I don't want to speculate on stuff like that. What we know for a fact is that Rod McMahon, Vince McMahon's brother, passed away. He was an Air Force veteran, very serious about his nutrition and everything. And if you remember, there was an original plan for Rod McMahon to be introduced to the WWE fan base. His first appearance was set as an on-screen character at Vince McMahon's funeral. And pretty much they were going to figure out ways to bring him in as a regular character that way. Because remember, we're talking about back during that period where Vince McMahon's limo had exploded. But then the freaking Chris Benoit situation, that nightmare went down and pretty much nipped that in the butt. I know Ryback has shared some stories about Rod McMahon and everything, but that's 77. That's a nice long life. That's some kind of look at that as maybe kind of relatively still kind of young, but 77 is that's pretty good, especially if it wasn't COVID related. That's actually pretty good. Hey, I didn't get a chance to talk about this on the previous show. I definitely want to spend a couple of minutes talking about it on here. So I had watched the Shine Wrestling promotion. They made their return last weekend with Shine 66. And I had a great time checking it out. I was in the Discord. One of the reasons why you guys need to look into Discord yet again. I was actually streaming the event, did a nice little hangout. We had a nice little small intimate group of people. Myself, shout out to Mish from Wrestling Soup. We're kicking back and we're just watching it. It was actually a fun night too. Most fun I've had in a long while. I had drinks and we were watching one wrestling event after another, but I got things kicking off with the Shine Wrestling promotion. And Shine had presented Shine 66. This was their first Shine event since February of 2020. Yeah, since February of 2020. And it was a pretty good card that they had. You had your Shine Tag Team Championship match, BTY's Jamie Jameson and Marty Bell. They defeated Lexi Gomez and Sofia Castillo to retain their titles. Harlow O'Hara defeated Erica Torres. I was a bit blown by that. I gotta tell you, I was a bit blown by that because when I'm looking at Erica Torres, one of the first things that's kind of clicking in my head, I'm going, damn, why does this girl look familiar? Like why do I recognize this girl? And I'm just continuing to look at her, and I'm like, wait a minute, she looked familiar to me. Like, why she look familiar to me? And I'm just continuing to look at her. And finally I'm like, nah, you know what? No, I don't know you. All right, next. I wish there was like another cool story to this, but no, I kept looking at Erica Torres and I'm like, she looks familiar. I'm like, why does she look familiar? It's like, there's something about her. Like, why does she look familiar? He's like, nah, you never seen her before, Lee. I'm like, okay. All right. Well, it is what it is. But then I started looking at Harlow O'Hara. I'm going, oh, I know her. I don't forget a face. I know this girl. And I'm like, wow. Women of wrestling? Wow. I'm like, that's gotta be. Sure enough, I fucking do a quick little Google search while I'm looking at her match with Erica Torres. And I'm going, that's that girl from WoW. And Mish is like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, dude, that's the girl from WoW with the little psychotic sisters, little trio that was running around there. You know. He's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, it is. It's like, but I couldn't figure out the name at the time. Fury was her name in WoW, Women of Wrestling. And I'm looking at her. I love her. Harlow, I love that girl. I mean, she's got badass fucking tats, man. Her tattoos are fucking sick. I love them. If I were to ever do another podcast, I think one of, something I've been kind of entertaining off and on over the years. I would do a podcast. Y'all remember when Corey Graves had that little joint on the WWE network? And he was talking to people about their ink and shit. Well, I always thought it was way before Corey even did this. I just always thought it'd be a cool idea to just do a podcast for like 30 minutes, just talking about tattoos. That's it. Just talk about tattoos. That's it. Have my guests on. Talk about the ink. Talk about the story behind the ink. Talk about the artists, that did the ink. I always wanted to do something like that, and I just might. I just might, but yeah, I promise you, if I ever get around to launching something like that, um, Harlow O'Hara would definitely be somebody I would love. You guys have no, I have the biggest crush on Harlow O'Hara. You gotta look her up when you guys get a chance. Harlow, Harlow O'Hara. Or you could just do Women of Wrestling Fury, and you'll be able to pull her up that way. But she's a cute little thing when you guys look at her. She kind of reminds you when you first look at her. You know, you're kind of reminded of a little pint size, uh, cuter version of Jessica Havoc. You know, she's kind of got that vibe too. When you pull up her shit, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But Harlow O'Hara defeating Erica Torres. Ava Everett defeated Sahara 7. I thought that was an okay match. Bear with me a second here. Just adjusting the calibration here. Ava Everett, I thought, because, when I went into this Shine event, I'm going, okay, who stands out? Who fucking stands out? Jamie Jameson and Marty Bell. Man, Marty Bell has gotten thicker. And I mean that in the most positive way. I remember she was just a small little thing. She's really come around though since last I had saw of her, which pretty much was Impact Wrestling, as far as seeing Marty Bell on the regular. She's really come into her own over these past couple of years as an individual. I mean, she just reeks of superstar. She reeks of it now. She's pretty badass. Harlow O'Hara, that's another one. I would not be sleeping on that girl. She's another one that's pretty fucking badass. I'm just pulling up the photos for these girls. Kind of jog my memory here a bit for you guys. Sahara 7, she was okay. She was all right. ACW Women's Championship match, Allie Rex getting a win over Amber Nova. Allie Rex, that is somebody I was quite pleasantly surprised by. I did not know anything about this girl, a couple of the other girls, but as far as it factor, money, Allie Rex, I was quite fucking taken back by her. I became an instant fan of her work from Shine 66. So, trust me, if you haven't been checking out her work on the independents, that's a name you don't want to be sleeping on. I have a feeling that is a girl that eventually is going to be making her rounds on a regular basis. If not through AEW, then Impact. Maybe even AEW. So don't sleep on that name. Allie Rex, remember that. Shine Nova Championship, Natalie Markova defeated Double D Rose by DQ. Natalia Markova, she's another one that stunningly beautiful. There's an article that's floating around right now. Apparently, she's a free agent. She's become like the hottest free agent. I don't know if that's legit or what. She trained at the IWF wrestling school. This girl's pretty badass. That's another one I would tell you guys. Especially if you love your women's wrestling and all that. That's another one you don't want to be sleeping on. Check her out. Chelsea Durden got a win over Catalina Perez. Was a little bit disappointed by that one. Shine Tag Team Championship, Kimber Lee and Stormy Lee beat Jamie Jameson and Marty Bell to become your new Shine Tag Champions. And in the main event match for Shine, this pretty much was the main event that made a lot of people check out Shine. Eva Lee's Velez taking on Allison Kay. Good fucking match. Those are two girls I'm looking at. Look, we know Eva Lee's, she's doing her thing with AEW and all that. But I'm looking at Allison Kay, and Allison Kay is somebody, yeah, I know she kind of ruffles people's feathers the wrong way sometimes with some of the stuff that she says on social media. Some people may say she's a little bit too outspoken, or one thing that you can't deny about Allison Kay, she's got that social media game down. I mean, when it comes to trending topics and shit like that, sometimes you just kind of got to take a step back. Okay, is she saying this just to really be speaking her mind and this is what's really coming from the heart? Or is she saying this shit just to kind of stir things up, get people talking and everything? You can't deny her social media game. Her social media game is strong. You can't deny that. It is strong. That's a girl I look at and I just go, why is this girl still out here on the free agency market? Why hasn't AEW scooped her up yet? What's up with WWE? What the fuck is going on here? But yeah, Evilise, Allison Kay, man, that was the fucking match of the entire evening. Look, you got like $14 you can spare. Go check it out. Order that motherfucker. You guys will thank me later. So it was a good fucking card, man. It was a good fucking card. Out of all the matches, for me though, personally, like my top matches was the Shine Championship, the Shine Tag Team Championship, where Kimberly and Stormy defeated, became new champs. The Shine Nova Championship one, where I just told you guys about Natalia Markova. And for sure the ACW Women's Championship match. Those were the ones that I really had enjoyed the most. So check that out. And look, whenever Shine decides they want to do another one, trust me, I'll definitely be checking it out. I will definitely be checking it out. Let's see. I think on that note, I think we can now get into some Royal Rumble predictions. Can we get into? Yeah. By the way, for you guys that may be checking out the web stream of the show, you may have seen in the thumbnail a sandwich, and you're like, what the fuck is that about? All right, so weird little trivia news shit. I just want to share with you guys. I thought it was an interesting report. So apparently Subway, Eat Fresh, they're facing a lawsuit. And in this lawsuit, basically the lawsuit is claiming in regards to Subway's tuna, for their sandwiches, that tuna, it ain't tuna. That's what's going on here. You can't make this shit up. First, we question, is the bread really bread? Yeah. So, young lady by the name of Kate Gibson for CBS News, she wrote a nice little short article about this, and in part she said what Subway bills as tuna is a mixture of various concoctions that do not constitute tuna, yet have been blended together by defendants to imitate the appearance of tuna. That's according to the complaint. It was filed last week in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California on behalf of 2 California residents. Their names are irrelevant, but they contend that the 2 were tricked into buying food items that woefully lacked the ingredients they reasonably thought they were purchasing based on its labeling. Consumers are consistently misled into purchasing the products for the commonly known and or advertised benefits and characteristics of tuna, when in fact no such benefits could be had, given that the products are in fact devoid of tuna, the suit claims. And apparently tests were conducted. Alex Brown, who's a attorney with the Lanier law firm, who's representing the 2 people in the case that are bringing forth this lawsuit, said they are trying to determine what ingredients are used in Subway's tuna. And I quote, "We are conducting tests to figure out what it is. The lab tests thus far have only told us what it isn't," he said in an email to CBS. Spokesperson for Subway, denied the claims laid out in the lawsuit. There simply is no truth to the allegations in the complaint that was filed in California. Subway delivers 100% cooked tuna to its restaurants, which is mixed with mayonnaise and used in freshly made sandwiches, wraps, and salad that are served to and enjoyed by our guests. According to the company's website, the tuna salad in the chain sandwiches is made with flaked tuna in brine, mayonnaise, and a flavored protecting additive. Unfortunately, this lawsuit is part of a trend in which the named plaintiffs' attorneys have been targeting the food industry in an effort to make a name for themselves in that space. This suit, y'all need to be paying attention to this because it potentially represents thousands of Subway customers who bought tuna sandwiches or wraps after January 21st, 2017 in California, where it has about 2,300 locations. I don't know about you guys, but when I hear shit like this, I mean, does a motherfucker just wake up one day and just goes, God damn, I am so fucking hungry. I need to get me something to eat. I don't really feel like making anything, but I do got a taste for a delicious tuna sandwich. Well, I got tuna in my pantry. I got mayonnaise. I got relish. I got everything I need to make my tuna sandwich. I just don't feel like making it, though. I'm gonna wobble my ass on over to Subway. Fresh. That's great. I'm gonna go get me my sandwich. This sandwich sure does taste good, but you know, it doesn't quite taste like. I mean, how does one get to that point of I gotta file a lawsuit because this ain't tuna? How do we get to that point? I'm just really trying to understand that because that just really. Do we not have anything else better to do with our free time? It is what I wonder. That's just wild. Look, I've had my share of Subways over the years. Their tuna, you got to be careful when it comes to that tuna because some of those Subway restaurants, man, I've eaten bad tuna. I have eaten bad tuna. I have, took a bite. Trashed it. Fucking trashed it. Like, yeah, not going to that Subway again. Fuck that. So you gotta be careful with some of them. But I would say as long as I've eaten Subway for probably about 20 years. I've probably eaten bad tuna maybe twice in my 20 years. Actually, no, I've eaten Subway. Let me think. Give me a second. Let me think. Yeah. I think I had first began eating Subway when I was maybe, I would say 17 or 18 years old is when I began eating Subway. So 18, 17, 18, fast forward all the way to now. Yeah, so I would say twice I've eaten bad tuna. That's a pretty good record, right? I'm 40 and yeah, that's pretty good. Twice, yeah. Always tasted like tuna to me. I mean, unless something's happened where the recipe has changed drastically, we're gonna sue Subway and question their tuna. No, how about we get on their ass about them veggies and about that lunch meat? Because there be a lot of times, y'all know the deal. Y'all know the deal. Raise them fucking hands. Y'all know the deal. How many times you go to a goddamn Subway and tell me this hasn't happened to you? You got a bomb ass taste for a sandwich, and you telling the freaking preparer, the sandwich artiste, what you want on your sandwich. Oh man, them tomatoes. Oh man, them tomatoes look banging. Them tomatoes look banging. You gotta be watching. You gotta be watching these days when they making your sandwich, because you gotta make sure that shit is fresh. Man, you see some lettuce and you like, that lettuce look slightly like it's going brown. I think it's still good. Nah, you eat into that motherfucker. That shit had no business being out. Let's be real. That shit had no business being out. You're like, I want some, I want some roast beef. Man, that roast beef supposed to be looking all nice and and rich color to it. It's supposed to be looking all and smell fresh. Man, they give you some funky ass shit. They be giving you shit that's like they should have tossed it 2-3 days ago. That's how bad it is. That's what we need to be suing Subway for, because they be going with that catchphrase, eat fresh. A lot of them joints don't even be doing that shit. So, look, if you ask me 2 cents from a distance what I think is going to be happening with regards to this lawsuit, I don't see it going anywhere. I don't see this lawsuit going anywhere. Do I see it getting settled out of court? No, I don't even see that happening. I think this shit's gonna get dismissed. That's just me personally. We'll see what happens though. But it just sounds so fucking silly. Royal Rumble Sunday programming for social media platforms. Check this out. Check this out. Man, they got a load of shit that's gonna be going on here. It's not much. It's not much, but all right, peep this out. Royal Rumble matches of the last decade stream. The synopsis for it. Watch thrilling Royal Rumble matches from the last decade featuring Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and more WWE superstars beginning at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Then, this is all Sunday, mind you. This is all on Sunday. Then, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on the WWE Network, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Ultimate Royal Rumble. Join Matt Camp, Even Mack, and Sam Roberts as they construct the most epic Royal Rumble match of all time, pitting WWE legends against your favorite modern-day superstars to determine who is the greatest Royal Rumble match competitor of all time. La Priva, Spanish Royal Rumble pre-show. 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Tune in for a special edition of the Spanish pre-show La Priva as a broadcast on WWE Network and across WWE social platforms including WWE YouTube, WWE Espanol Facebook, WWE Espanol Twitter, and WWE Espanol Instagram. So if you're bilingual like me, you might want to check that out. A special Royal Rumble edition of WWE's The Bump will air at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It'll be on all those respected outlets and on Twitch. Looks like Hulk Hogan, Daniel Bryan, Goldberg, Joseph Williams, Sam Gradle, with Blackpool grime rapper Millie B. Lend their voices to help preview all the night's action coming to inside the WWE Thunderdome. 6 p.m. Eastern, you get your Royal Rumble kickoff show. And then there's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern a WWE watch-along. So that is what's going to be going on. Royal Rumble weekend there. I kind of thought about doing a watch-along. Not for this one. I think at this point, I still can't get into that whole watch-along stuff. I still can't quite get into it. But if I were to do something like that, I may bust something like that out. Maybe WrestleMania weekend. I'll bust it out. We'll see. Also, I think on that note, we can now get into some Royal Rumble predictions. By the way, was I done from earlier with regards to Roman Reigns? I don't really think. Hang on a second here. Yeah, we pretty much were done with regards to what Roman Reigns had to say about Taker from earlier. Look, if I were to just add anything else to what Roman Reigns had said, I mean, what more is there to say? I mean, I'm gonna say it once again. Undertaker was coming from a good place. He really meant no malice. I'll keep on saying that. I honestly believe that. I'm not gonna rehash something that I've already touched upon uh earlier this week, but that's just where I am. Teach its own. For you Impact Wrestling fans, I don't know if this is gonna come into fruition or whatnot, but there's a report going around that Chris DeJoseph has been in talks with Impact Management about coming in. If that were to happen, that'd be some pretty good shit. And they're talking about him coming in as a writer. Remember, MLW tried to make a pitch for him and he turned them down. His name should sound familiar to you guys because he previously wrote for WWE and he co-created Lucha Underground. So if you guys really had enjoyed what was going on in Lucha Underground, to hear that potentially he may come into Impact Wrestling, that's good. Let's fucking get it to that next level. As far as the storylines and all that goes, yeah, let's fucking go there. Yeah, let's get into some Royal Rumble preview and predictions now. Yeah, all right. So Royal Rumble this Sunday. Let's look at the official card here. By the way, you new, you're tuning in, welcome. Said it earlier, you ain't done it yet. Make sure you hit that like button. Helps the YouTube gods as far as recommending our channel to other folks so they can check it out. All right. Wow, so as it stands right now, we only got 6 matches. I'm reading this right? Yeah, we only got 6 matches. Okay. Sasha Banks taking on Carmella, singles match for the Smackdown Women's Championship. Carmella's been on a fucking roll, yo. I gotta admit. This is a tricky one. I am going to say Carmella, your new SmackDown Women's Champion. Asuka and Charlotte defend the women's tag titles against Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler. I do not want to see Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler get the tag titles back. I am at that point now where at the beginning when Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler came together as a tag team, I was all for, okay, let's see what happens here. This is refreshing. You know, okay, you got me curious. Color me curious. We'll see where this goes. But it just feels as though these past several months, it's just been flatlining for Shayna Baszler. I see nothing else you can do with this tag team. I want to see Shayna Baszler break off and be that dominant, take no prisoners, kick your fucking ass, dominate like she was when she was down in NXT. So, yeah, Asuka, Charlotte Flair, I got them retaining their tag titles. Drew McIntyre taking on Goldberg, singles match for the WWE Championship. A little concerned about this one. I gotta admit, I'm a little concerned about this one. See, the real question here, does both World Heavyweight Champions walk out of here with their titles intact? That's the real question you got to be asking yourself. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say, oh shit. I like this one. I'm about to go Lee Stradamus on y'all ass here. I'm going to say Drew McIntyre with no controversy, Drew McIntyre defeats Goldberg to retain his WWE Championship. But remember, I said I'm about to go Leestradamus on y'all. So just remember that. Remember what I just said there. Roman Reigns takes on Kevin Owens' last man standing match for the WWE Universal Championship. Come on, man. Roman's been on such a hot streak. How can you... Come on. We can't switch it up now. We cannot switch it up now. I see a whole lot of shenanigans going on. A whole lot of shenanigans going on. I see multiple stunners being given out. But when it's all said and done, Roman Reigns is still going to be your tribal chief. Let's go to the men's Royal Rumble match. All right, so these are the participants that we know that's going to be in it right now. Daniel Bryan, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Otis, Miz, Jey Uso, Cesaro, Jeff Hardy, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Nakamura, Big E, John Morrison, Sheamus, Mustafa Ali, Edge, King Corbin, Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio, Braun Strowman. All right, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's 21 slots there. That's 21 slots. So we got 9 more slots, essentially, that need to be filled. You know what? You just did this cool kick-ass deal with Peacock. You had an excellent quarter. If you're the WWE, you had an excellent quarter, boosting about how much money you were bringing in and all that. I got Brock Lesnar showing up. So Brock Lesnar automatically, he gonna get one of them slots. Okay. Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal is another one. What is going on with Aleister Black? Have not seen Aleister Black in a good fucking minute. Now I'll say I have missed a few weeks of, Smackdown programming and everything, but what is going on with Aleister Black? I kind of feel as though I think Aleister Black, I kind of feel like Aleister Black should be popping up here, yeah? I mean, if Aleister Black doesn't show up at the Royal Rumble, you just can't help but go, okay, you know what? Spring is right around the corner. WWE likes to clean house. Is he maybe going to be on that Bon Voyage list? I actually miss Aleister Black. I actually do. I would love to see Aleister Black. I'd love to see him return. I actually think Aleister Black will show up. What about Bray Wyatt? That's another guy that you definitely got to have show up. Let's see. So that's 4 slots right there. Now, remember when I went Leestradamus on y'all last? Goldberg in the Rumble. Goldberg in the Rumble. Seeing that right now. I'm calling that shit right now. Bill Goldberg in the Rumble. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 slots. We got 4 more slots to fill. All right, let's see what we got here. Who haven't we seen in a while? But before anybody says CM Punk, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing CM Punk. I'm not seeing it. Oh, well, you got to put Keith Lee in there. For sure. You got to put Keith Lee in there. You know, I would love to see Karrion Kross in there as well. I'd love to see Karrion Kross have a damn good, nice, strong performance. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 slots right there. We got 2 more slots we can fill. Let's see here. Just trying to think if there's a... Who am I missing from this? Hey, you know what I just realized? There's no Shelton Benjamin in here. How we don't have Shelton Benjamin? You got to put Shelton Benjamin in here. So, I'll tell you that right now. I'm going to put Shelton Benjamin in here. All right. So, Shelton, definitely you got to put Shelton in there. I kind of feel as though you also need to put... I kind of feel as though you also need to put Cedric Alexander in there as well. And here's what I'm thinking. So there's our 30 slots pretty much right there with those additional names that I mentioned. So again, I mentioned Brock Lesnar, Jinder Mahal, Aleister Black, Bray Wyatt, Goldberg, Keith Lee, Karrion Kross, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander. Now here's what I'm thinking here. Remember the friction that came about from this past Monday's Raw, and MVP was trying to do his best to coach the hell out of Cedric when he was facing Riddle. Remember that? We had that gauntlet that was going on there. So I can picture MVP coming out with one of his Hurt Business guys, you know, and doing okay, and then later on during the Rumble, another Hurt Business guy comes out. You know, I can picture Cedric Alexander would be a sweet spot to do it too. I can just picture him doing a nice little hot streak, getting a couple of eliminations out there. I can legit see him sending Shelton Benjamin out of the ring. And it's like, what the fuck are you thinking, kid? Like, I can see somehow that carries over into Monday Night Raw. I can legit see that. I hope that that's the actual blueprint that they go into. You know, you got to have some type of continuity going into that week, since you're going to be fresh off of Rumble and everything. You got to have a little bit of fallout from that. So I think I'm planning that out kind of nicely for you guys. So peep that out. All right. So male side of things, who's going to win the Rumble? Look, man, when it gets right down to the heart of the matter, it would be badass if it was Edge. It really would. That would be great if it was Edge. Not seeing it. The fact that Daniel Bryan has not won a Royal Rumble, that's kind of cool. You know, that'd be kind of cool to see at WrestleMania Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, or maybe Daniel Bryan, Drew McIntyre. Both of those would be some pretty damn good kick-ass matches, without a doubt. But Daniel Bryan winning at the Rumble, not seeing it. Daniel Bryan winning at the Rumble, I'm not seeing it. Bray Wyatt returning. If you're not going to have Bray Wyatt return at the Rumble, then the next question becomes, well, when do you have Bray Wyatt return? You know, if you're not going to do it here, then where are you going to do it? Are you going to save it for Mania? I just kind of feel like you got to do something with Wyatt. But then it brings me back to this point, which is, well, if you're not going to, so let's see if we got this straight. We're going to introduce a new Bray Wyatt at the Royal Rumble, but he's not going to win the Rumble? Doesn't sound good, does it? So for that respected reason, I'm going to say we keep Bray Wyatt off of the pay-per-view. In Bray Wyatt's place, I would say put in John Morrison. Put John Morrison in there. That would be a nice little interesting dynamic. What I would give to actually see a segment too, leading into the pay-per-view where Miz and Morrison are talking. Yeah, and Morrison reveals, hey, I've got one of the Rumble slots. Yeah, because let me go back here. I don't remember ever saying John Morrison's name. Hang on. No. John Morrison is in it. Okay, sorry about that. I apparently did mention it. John Morrison is in there. Yeah, okay, so we're back to the drawing board. Okay, so if I'm taking out Bray Wyatt, all right, then who am I putting in his place? Hang on, let's go here. We haven't seen... Oh, shit, I can't believe I almost forgot about him. Do you bring back Seth Rollins? Totally fucking blanked on that guy. Yeah. Or do you go with John Cena? There's another one. Some interesting developments there. Too close to call. You could either slide in Seth Rollins or you could slide in John Cena. One of those two guys, I think, will be at the Rumble for sure. I'd love to see both of them, quite honestly. But going back, damn, I would love to see Big E win it too. That for me would be the coolest, especially since we're going into Black History Month too. Man, that would be so epic fucking badass. Big E, Roman Reigns, WrestleMania. Take my money. I would love to see that. Would fucking love to see that. I just don't know if it's going to happen in time for WrestleMania. I mean, would that be enough of a build-up? You have to ask yourself as a fan, from what you've been seeing of the WWE programming, pretty much ever since they split up New Day, all right, and we're officially on the road to WrestleMania now. Can we actually tell the story that needs to be told in time by Mania to really build up Big E there? I just don't know, guys. I just don't know. I'd love to see that man win it. I really would, but I just feel like... I don't know. There's something about that one that's kind of throwing me off a little bit. I think it's going to come down to a Brock Lesnar, a Big E, and a Goldberg. And let me tell you something. I don't know why. I'm picturing a Goldberg win for the Royal Rumble. Because I'm trying to figure out, how do you get to that point where Goldberg, if you were to do that money-making match, Goldberg has said numerous times he wants to face Roman Reigns. It's a good amount of money to be had there. If you're not going to pull the trigger in this fashion to have Goldberg take on Roman Reigns at Mania, then it becomes, all right, so you have Goldberg lose to Drew McIntyre. All right, he lost. How exactly do you tie things up to a point where you eventually bring back Goldberg, but now you got him faced off against Roman Reigns? You feel where I'm coming from? So that's where things kind of feel a little bit... I kind of feel as though Big E, Goldberg, I'd love to see Keith Lee, but for main roster, still very green. Sadly, still very green. Not seeing it. Just not seeing it just yet. Yeah, yeah. Lot of twists and turns right here. You got a home man on Brock Lesnar, Biggie, Goldberg. Those are the names I'm looking at. Some of you guys may not like that. I don't blame you, but that's just how it feels to me. Would I be shocked if Edge were to win? No. I just kind of hope it actually doesn't go in that direction. You know what I mean? Now, Edge versus Roman Reigns, Battle of the Spears at WrestleMania. Boy, and you talk about somebody that could actually hang with Roman Reigns when it comes to the promos. Edge could hang big time with Roman and then some. That would be a very interesting dynamic right there. Very fucking interesting dynamic. But that's how I'm looking at it. As far as Miz, Money in the Bank briefcase, what about him cashing in? I know one idea that's kind of floating around out there. Some people think Miz might be able to do a successful cash in at the Rumble. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that. Will Miz maybe tease the idea of cashing in the briefcase at Rumble? I could maybe see something during the pre-show or something like that, but I'm not seeing Miz successful cash in at the Rumble. I can tell you guys that right now. Remember what I said to you guys, I want to say several weeks ago. Whatever that week was when Adam Pearce handed the briefcase back to the Miz. Remember, I was right here on this show and I told you guys, oh, guaranteed, since Miz in storyline has the briefcase back, he's going to become a world heavyweight champion. There's no doubt about that. And I believe I followed it up. I said to you guys, as far as when it's possibly going to be going down, I told you guys it's either going to happen at WrestleMania, the night or week after WrestleMania. And I still feel pretty confident in saying that. And I'm not wavering from that for nothing. I'm not wavering from that for nothing. Now, with regards to the women's Royal Rumble, I spent all that time talking about the men's Royal Rumble. Let's look at the women's Rumble. Every time we see some type of video footage or whatnot of Ronda Rousey, she's training with people, she's doing some cool stuff, and you're just kind of under the impression, maybe she's getting ready to do something. You get the impression maybe she's getting ready to make a comeback or whatever. You got Stephanie McMahon. Hey, we'd love to have Ronda come back to the WWE. That'd be no different than me saying, yeah, I'd love to have a blowjob right about now while I'm smoking a cigar and I'm drinking some beer. I can do all three things at once, right? I can enjoy myself while I'm having a blowjob, smoke a cigar, have some beer or whatever, wine, whatever. Yeah, that'd be nice. Will it actually happen? Remains to be seen. People actually talking about Becky Lynch coming back. Guys, I don't mean to sound so crude. She just popped out a kid. All right, can we let her enjoy motherhood for a little bit? Like, come on. No, I'm not seeing Becky make her return. Ronda Rousey coming back. She's definitely missed tremendously. It would be nice. It would be nice if Ronda were to come back. I don't know. Bianca Belair, that would be nice. Yeah, that definitely would be nice. Let's look at the women's side for a second here. These are the women that were announced for the Women's Rumble. Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Peyton Royce, Alexa Bliss, Shayna Baszler, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, Tamina, Natalya. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Only 13 of the 30 entrants for this one. All right. Well, this is going to be very easy for me. So I can tell you off the break, looking at this. Off the break, looking at this. Hang on. Lana. I can see Lana returning. Melina. I definitely see Melina returning. Let's see. Let me look at this here. All right, so we got 15. We got to think of like 15 more women. Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley for sure. I wonder how traveling outside the US and coming into the US has been, because what I'd give to see, just for one night only, what I'd give to see Io Shirai do something. I would love to see Io Shirai do something. Hang on here. Hang on here. You know what? Raquel Gonzalez. I've been very pleased with her work. I would love to see her make an appearance. Let's see. Just thinking about all the women, all the women. Let's see. Who else we got here? We got Liv Morgan. We got Ruby Riott. We got Tamina. We got Natty. We got Dana Brooke. We got Mandy. We got Peyton. Where the fuck is Billy Kay? The fuck is Billy Kay? Oh no, you gotta put Billy Kay in there. You gotta have your comic relief. All right, I'm gonna put Billy Kay in there. Hmm. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Lita were to show up. I'm actually gonna put Lita in there. You know, I can't help but wonder what exactly is going on with the contract status for Taya Valkyrie. We talked about it off and on Impact Showdown. Is Taya done with Impact? And if she is done, free agent and all right, is it possible we might see her in the WWE? It's kind of something that you got to have in the back of your mind there. Because you definitely need some surprises. Because that's something else. You know, everybody's going Ronda, 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 Ronda. And I can come right back and say Tessa, 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 Tessa. Tessa Blanchard is somebody that's been rumored to potentially been picked up by WWE. So I don't know. I don't know. That's an interesting one there. I'm having a hard time pulling up more women. It feels like you need more representation of the females from NXT for sure. So I wonder what are the odds that Mia Yim does a little something. Can you get away with that? And I can't help but wonder, can you get away with that? Mercedes Martinez for sure. I'd love to see Mercedes Martinez. So let's put her in there. Mercedes Martinez. So we can put her in there. I said Martinez. Martinez. Thank you. Okay. All right. Trying to picture who else. Because you got to highlight the future, essentially. Martinez is definitely somebody. Raquel Gonzalez, that's definitely somebody I can see get called up. I think she's good to go. Chelsea Green. For sure, Chelsea Green. Let's see, who else? Let's look at this again here. Oh shit, Lacey Evans wasn't even mentioned in this. How do you? Oh yeah, you got to put Lacey Evans in there. All right, so Lacey Evans for sure. I don't see her on here. I got her coming back for sure. Naomi. Naomi is definitely. Come on, man. We can't sleep on the glow. You definitely got to put Naomi in there. All right. So let's see. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We're at 23 females now. We're at 23 females now. Let's see. Who else? Damn. It's kind of fun trying to figure out like who's gonna possibly pop up here. Um, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Trying to think some more females. You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I wonder if they could get a hold of Molly Holly again. That'd be kind of badass. You want to put some surprises in there? I'm actually going to put her down. I'm actually putting Molly Holly in there. Let's see who else? Who else? Who else could you put in there? Let's see who else we could put in there. So you got Billy Kay. Yeah, you got that. I already mentioned Lana. I think you got to go over to NXT there, man. Johnny Gargano's woman. Oh fuck, what's Candice LeRae? Candice LeRae. I wouldn't mind seeing Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae for sure. So put her in there. Let's see. Oh, for sure, Io Shirai. Yeah, yeah. I almost forgot about her. Io Shirai. You definitely want to put her in there. Okay. Hang on here. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26. I'm going to put one more. I'm going to put one more female on here, and that's going to be it. I'm going to leave the last three blank just on purpose for like, tell me I didn't just see that. You know what would be cool? I don't know if she'd be willing to come out, but Southern Belle, Jacqueline or Ivory, one of those two. That'd be kind of cool. So I'm actually going to put them in here. I'm actually going to put them in here. Ivory or that. What I give to see Jazz, I would love to fucking see Jazz, but Jazz, you know, I'm just trying to think about the interviews that Jazz has given over the years, and she hasn't been too harsh. Well, actually, I was going to say she hasn't been too harsh about the WWE product when it comes to ethnics, but she's kind of been very outspoken. It's one of the many traits that I love about Jazz. Yeah, I wish I could put Jazz on here. So, nah, so that ain't happening. That ain't happening. All right, so we got 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. All right, so I got Lana, Melina, Rhea Ripley, Raquel Gonzalez, Billie Kay, Lita, Mercedes Martinez, Chelsea Green, Lacey Evans, Naomi, Molly Holly, Candice LeRae, Io Shirai, Jackie Slash, Ivory. That's just one spot. And then 3 mystery spots. So, hey, look, if one of those is Ronda, cool. That's fucking cool. I'm not expecting Becky Lynch. I'm just saying. I'm not expecting Becky Lynch. That'd be kind of interesting, though. That's all I'm going to say. That would be kind of interesting. That's some fast ass healing. That's all I got to say. Other than that, your guess is as good as mine. But as far as who I think is going to win it, that's where it gets kind of tricky. That's where it gets tricky. I'm not seeing what's her face? What's our girl's name? I'm not seeing the EST. I'm not seeing her win it. I would love to. I would love to see Bianca win it, but I just kind of feel as though we need more storytelling. We need more breaking grounds for this woman. You know, if we were to come back in maybe 4 to 5 months, that's enough of a proper. I'd be so fucking down. Go ahead, pull the trigger then. But I just kind of feel like this go round. No, I feel no. So sadly, I gotta eliminate Bianca Belair. Look, if she ends up winning it, I'm fucking hog heaven. Fucking hog heaven. But I'm just not seeing her win it. So, who does that leave you with? I kind of feel as though Rhea Ripley, of all the names that like really, really jump out to me right now, just kind of going back here. Let me look at these names here. I'm not seeing Charlotte. I'm not seeing Charlotte win it. I'm not seeing Bayley. Come on, Mandy and Dana, forget about it. Peyton, forget about it. Alexa Bliss, forget about it. You either give it to Shayna Baszler. That'd be a hell of a good way to really re-cement her. That I think. You either give it to Shayna Baszler. And I'm actually going to go with a wild card. Here. Ruby Riott. People will laugh at that, but nah, Ruby Riott has proven herself time and time again. So if you don't go the Shayna Baszler route, I can see the Ruby Riott route. If you don't go the Ruby Riott route, I can definitely see Rhea Ripley. And that would be a nice little full circle type of story when you really kind of take a step back and you think about it and everything. So we need her up on the main roster anyway. She's fucking tearing it up. I know a lot of people are going to be like, Ronda Rousey. You know how many times we've been going the whole Ronda Rousey route? I mean, seriously, when you really stop to think about it, how often we've been going the Ronda Rousey route. Look, if she pops up, that's great. Look, if she pops up, yeah, she's probably going to win it. But surprise me. That's what Royal Rumble is supposed to be all about. It's all supposed to be about surprising. So we'll see what happens with that. But those are the potential winners that I'm looking at for Sunday's pay-per-view. All right, so yeah, that's it. That's how I'm looking at it for Royal Rumble. And yes, there will be a post show. Make sure you're voting on the poll that I have up on Twitter and on Facebook. Would love to know what you guys want to do with regards to you want to call into the show. So go with the poll that you feel best represents how you're feeling with regards to if you want to be able to call in or just kick back, listen to me, do the post show and all that. All right. And before we get ready to roll out, I do want to take this time out to thank those of you that check this show out, be it live or you're going to be checking it out for on demand on the downloads. I know I've been a little bit slow with releasing the other content. We did Impact Showdown. We dropped that audio all over the platforms. We never did put the audio version of Monday's show for on demand in the downloads. I've just been tied up with class assignments. That's what's been getting the best of me. So pretty much when I get home tomorrow, Saturday night from work, I'll definitely, put the audio up ASAP. I think at this point, since we're so close into Royal Rumble weekend, I think at this point I'll just put this show out for on demand in the downloads, and then we'll just focus all our attention on Royal Rumble Sunday. Meantime, be kind, rewind, check out previous episodes you might have missed of the RCWR show, Impact Showdown, on demand, on the downloads, wherever you get your podcasts. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Sunday, man. So make sure you represent. Definitely going to be live with a post show. We'll be streaming all over the place. It's going to be a great show. You can get at me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Use the keywords, the RCWR show. And as you make your exit, make sure you smash that like button, share, subscribe. All of that helps out a great ton. Thank you so much for checking out the show live. Thank you in advance for those of you that's going to be checking this out for on demand and the downloads. Onward to the Royal Rumble Sunday. I'll catch you guys then. And until then, please be safe, be kind to one another. If you guys end up dealing with snow leading up to Royal Rumble Sunday, please shovel in moderation. I know some of you guys want to act like He-Man, being all young and shit. You don't need no heart problems. You don't need no back and chest problems. Snow, when it hits, shovel it in moderation. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Don't be all, you're going to pay for it. Trust me, you're going to pay for it. And check on your neighbors. Make sure they're doing okay. You'd be surprised, especially during these tough times that we're in with the pandemic. You'd be surprised how many people are struggling with household bills. Choosing if they want to eat or if they want to cough up that same money to make sure they have heat on in their home. You'd be surprised. Those are some of the tough decisions that some people are making in their household. So please check on your fellow neighbor. Make sure that they're okay. They have everything they need. And, if they're elderly, make sure you do them a solid and take care of their walkways and all that. Trust me, they'll definitely appreciate the kind gesture. All right, guys, be well, and I will catch you guys later. Much love.